The heart of LA, Valley Sports West, the heart of the fan.
To another edition of Angels Live. It is presented by Lexus right here on Valley Sports. It's the Angels and the Rangers. One final trip on this Texas two-step. The Angels trying to salvage a game before they head home. And here's what's coming up on our pregame show before first pitch from Arlington. Yes, we'll preview Reid Detmers' outing. What can he do to be effective tonight against the Rangers? Plus, we hear from Randall Grichuk's parents last night. How about we hear from Grich today? He'll chat with our Carlin Babe. Plus, Denny Hocking in the house, and there is a moose sighting. We'll hop into cage, break things down with the coach himself. That's all what's coming up on the big show. Everybody, welcome inside our Santa Monica studios alongside Denny Hocking, Erica Weston with you. Thanks for joining us before the Halos head home today. They'll have an off day tomorrow. And Denny, there is no sugarcoating it. This trip has not been fun. It's not been good for the Angels. They'll hope to right that ship, change the narrative today before they head home for the off day tomorrow.
We'll see if they can change the narrative and see if they can repeat what happened in Houston, even though it wasn't great. Lost the first two, one on travel day. They're in that same situation today. Let's see if they can get on that flight with a win and come back home before the off day.
So there's been some pretty glaring things that the Angels have had on this road trip. Break it down. Here is what's been plaguing them, these two series in Texas.
Okay, so as I've watched this series, not just the series, but the road trip, I go back to the first game that Phil Nevin wasn't very happy against the Rangers. He's called it a lack of focus. When you're not focused, you make mistakes. When you make mistakes, you create free bases. Free bases are, if you're not educated on it, walks, hit batters, errors, stolen bases, wild pitches, all of those. When you give a free 90, they have scored 31 runs less than the opponent on this trip. They have given up 30 more free bases. As a guy, Erica, that has written lineups in the past, I look at there's a direct correlation between free bases and runs scored. And I think if they get back to being focused and they get back to doing their job, I think those free bases get cleaned up, and it provides them an opportunity to win more games.
It's certainly, been a challenge for them. Everybody wants to talk about the pitching. The offense hasn't been there as well, so the Angels need to put everything together if they hope to turn the page today against the Rangers. And they'll do so with Reid Detmers getting the start in the finale. He's going on short rest as far as the Angels rotation is concerned. He did not have a great outing his last time out against Houston. That's why he is going again today. He didn't throw a lot of pitches in that one, so he was good last time in Texas, and that was June, so we'll have to pull from that.
Be able to have some good vibes. Last time he was in Texas against the Rangers, he pitched really well, had 8 punch-outs in that no decision. But here's what I think going to, it's the last time he was here, he had some feel good. Really had his breaking stuff working, not just to his arm side, but also to his glove side. And Gooby will touch on this. When you're able to command both sides of the plate, it is really way more difficult for the opposition to be able to find barrels.
6 innings, 3 hits. He had 8 strikeouts in the no decision in this last outing against the Rangers in Texas. You think he's chomping at the bit a little bit to kind of get back out there and not think about that last outing against the Astros as we look at his outs the last time, or his strikeouts, pitch type last time out.
I think what he's probably watching in preparation for this game is going to be his outing at Texas, not his last outing that he took the mound. And yes, it's on short rest with the day off tomorrow. His #1 goal is to be able to go out there and use his pitches effectively, get guys out early, because this bullpen is set up traditionally how the Angels like to win games. Estevez at the end, Lopez, Moore, it's set up for the back end. If he can do his job at the front end and control some guys like Marcus Semien, I think he'll give his team an opportunity to win a game.
Yeah, haven't seen those guys in a couple of days. The off day tomorrow. Bullpen is rested, ready to go, at least the far back end guys. So is change in the air for Reid Detmers and his arsenal tonight against the Rangers. For more on that, we head out to Globe Life Field in Arlington to check in with the guys calling tonight's game. Wayne Randazzo, Mark Gubicza. Guys, take it away.
All right, Erica, thank you very much. And for Reid Detmers, it's been a struggle, not just his last start either. The last handful of starts for Detmers have not gone well. I know, Gooby, you're kind of paying attention to some of his secondary pitches and finding that right balance.
Yeah, well, I think when you think about it, he throws his curveball is going to be this way, his slider this way itself. So you need that other pitch that's going to go the different direction. As Danny Hocking has mentioned, you got to have that other part of the plate going as far as his secondary pitch. So that's why I think that changeup working the other way. When you go back to his no-hitter last year, he only had 2 strikeouts. He threw 22% of changeups in that game. He's only at 2% this year. So there you see the curveball and the breaking ball going on the inner half of the plate. How do you be able to get that balance as far as off speed and going the other way, so not always looking at that part? You throw that changeup, it starts middle and starts fading away from a right-handed batter. And you see the difference in the spin rate. It's a huge difference between the spin rate of his curveball and this direction of the baseball on the changeup and the slider. So you go in different directions, different parts of the place, east to west on off speed, because his changeup is not overpowering. It's going to be in the 70s. Same thing as changeup will be low 80s. So you go that separation going both parts of the plate. That'll allow him to be better with his fastball. But I still think the word for me today, really for him, is going to be command. Commanding the edges of the strike zone. Not only necessarily always have to be that outstanding stuff. He's got the stuff. It's commanding the strike zone, and the edge of the strike zone is going to be key for him tonight.
Well, I'm really glad you gave us a word of the day. That was nice. Yeah. Tune in next time for Goopy's word of the day.
Don't ask me to spell that, though.
As we send you back to the studio, Erica Weston and Denny Hocking.
Guys, thanks very much. Look forward to hearing you tonight on The Call. The change, Gooby, will be the focus. And as we keep our focus on pitching, we turn to the opposition. It'll be Jon Gray. I don't think there's a soft spot really in the Rangers rotation, but for this one in particular, Jon Gray has not been as good at home, and perhaps that's something the Angels can use to their advantage.
Hopefully the Angels can capitalize here on Jon Gray not having the success that he has on the road here at Globe Life Stadium today. What I'm looking for them to do is be aggressive early in counts. They've showed that trend lately. Be aggressive, more swing pitches, at pitches early. Okay, so when you're looking at Jon Gray, and I did the research, in hitters advantage counts, he gives up a lot of damage. Now you can say, Danny, obviously I don't know a lot of baseball, and I can see that, I can predict that, but he is notorious for giving up a lot of damage. So when you're in offensive counts, 0-0s, 1-0s, 2-0s, 3-1s, hunt the middle of the plate, get ready to find your barrel out front, and hit balls 100+ miles an hour.
So the big thing for the Angels is get guys on base any way you can. You know, they're not really going to give Shohei many pitches to hit. At least that's been the case lately. But if you can get somebody on against Jon Gray, that's when you're able to do the most damage against him.
Well, you know, it's a 719 OPS with guys on base. That's what Jon Gray gives up. The other thing, and I think the reason he doesn't pitch as well as at home, is because he's a contact pitcher. He's always pitching to contact. Guys are putting balls in play, and with that spacious field, there's a lot of territory for balls to land. I think that's what the Angels need to get back to today.
How do they focus on not overthinking all of this? You've got all of these numbers, these analytics, how to face Jon Gray, get on base. That's when he tends to give up the most damage, because really for them, it's just about finding some sort of momentum with the offense, and perhaps we saw some late inning offense from them last night. Perhaps they can draw on that.
What's going on in that clubhouse right now, you know, it's not exactly the greatest thing. Like, I've been in that clubhouse before in their situation, and guys aren't just running around smiling. But here's my advice, Erica. You ready? I want to see these guys smile. When you smile, you show teeth, you are relaxed. And I'm not saying it's got to be fake, but go into this game and sit there and go, you know what? Lost 2 in Houston, 1 on travel day. Lost the first 2 here today. Nobody sweeps us. Nobody sweeps us. Let's get out there and just do our job, have some fun, enjoy the win.
Just start with that. Start small.
Positive energy.
You're bringing it today, and we appreciate that. All right, calm down. We've got more ahead. Thanks for staying with us. We've got much more to get you set for first pitch from Arlington. Yeah, Grichuk, he said hello to his parents in the seats last night. More on Grich's night in Arlington after this.
Bets. This is Christopher Russo, and this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Mookie Betts plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network.
Texas Steelers experience amazing. Finale from Arlington tonight. Randall Grichuk. If there was any optimism from last night, it was his late inning offense. His second home run as a member of the Halos. And here's hoping, Denny, they can draw on a little bit of that last night to get the offense going tonight against John Gray. Second homer with the Halos. You feel like he's been putting some pressure on himself ever since he came over from the deadline?
Oh, without a doubt. I've seen the conversations that the managers have had at the trade deadline with the newly acquired guys. And the message is, we acquired you because of your skill set. Just go out and be you. But it's easier said than done. And I think all these guys that the Angels have acquired have really tried to put a lot of pressure on themselves to carry the load because of the guys on the IL. And Grich last night winds up hitting his second homer. And I think as he's running around the bases, it's probably a cool moment. You know, his dad
loving it in front of his parents.
I mean, what a better way to celebrate your parents being at the game and to hit a home run. It's feel good, and maybe that's a huge pressure off of his back for him to be able to go out and just perform like Randall Grichuk. That's all they're looking for him to do.
Take a deep breath and exhale, maybe loosen the grip on the bat just a little bit.
Show some teeth.
Helps to have mom and dad in the seats for sure. Cool night for the Grichuk family. For more on last night, we go back to Arlington. Our Carlin Baith caught up with Grich earlier today.
Thanks so much, guys. Randall, we're in your home state of Texas. Your parents have followed you from Houston to now Arlington to watch you play. Being able to get that two-run home run last night, how special was that for your parents to see here in your home state?
Yeah, it's awesome. I can only imagine, what it's like to have a son in the big leagues, at the big stage, accomplishing the dream that they've had their whole life. So anytime they can come out, they want to come out often. But I understand, and it's great to have some success when they're in the stands.
They were pretty adamant about how special it was that you are now playing in an Angels uniform after having been drafted by this team. When you look back and reflect on your career, how much of a full circle moment is that for you?
Yeah, it's very special. It was kind of crazy when I got drafted by the Angels. It was a team that I didn't really follow, being from Houston. West Coast games are late for us, so it wasn't one of the teams that I kind of grew up watching and then got drafted by them. And it's a team that then you become connected with, and it's a team that you want to put the jersey on at the big league level and produce and do it for the fans and do it for the organization that that took you in the first round. So it's pretty special to come do it. Obviously a little later than I would have liked to, but definitely special to be here and be in the big leagues.
This is the last game of this road trip here to end on a win, have a happy flight home. I'm sure that's the goal. Looking at the offense, what are some things you guys are keeping in mind as you approach this one as your final stop in Arlington?
Yeah, we just got to try not to do too much. I think, everyone's kind of, a little tired, a little, frustrated with the way things have been going, but, we just got to know that, 1 through 9, we have a good offense. We just got to not try to do too much. Just go get what the pitcher gives us. Don't try to pull an outside pitch. Go with it. And I feel like if we just keep the line moving, we'll be able to produce runs, which produces wins, and that's the name of the game.
Well, I can't let you go without asking about the Little League World Series here, because you were a part of that with Lamar Little League back in the day. It kicks off today throughout the month of August. So what were some of your best memories from that time, and how did that kind of help propel you to become a Major League Baseball player?
Yeah, those were some of the best times when it comes to baseball for me. We watched the Little League World Series a couple years before we went, and I told my dad, I want to play there, and I was lucky enough to play there twice. And special memories, and I'll always watch every year when it comes on. I get excited, and we actually got to the Southwest team this year is 10 minutes from my hometown. So I got to call him yesterday, wish him good luck, and yeah, it was a special moment for me. Yeah, it's just something that I'll be connected to forever, and we'll enjoy watching.
I'm sure those kids are fired up. They're going to take it all now. That's going to get them in the right direction.
There we go.
Well, thanks so much for doing this. Good luck to you today.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, sending it back to you guys.
Carlin, thank you so much. That's pretty cool, talking Grich in the Little League World Series. Hey, watch next week's episode of Angels Weekly. Perhaps we do talk about that one. But let's focus more in on a little bit about how, he hit the home run in front of his family in his home state. You got a little experience kind of in that realm.
Being from Orange County, having an opportunity to be in the big leagues and play against the Angels. It was terrifying. My first series at home against the Angels, I had 35 tickets, 40 tickets, 45 tickets. It was a lot of pressure. I went out and played horrible the entire series. Didn't want to go out after the game and see my family, but was forced to. And then all of a sudden they were like, hey, you're in the big leagues. And I just realized at that time, like, production doesn't matter to your family and your friends. And I think Grich having a chance to hit that homer yesterday in front of his family and his friends is a huge, huge relief from him. I had an opportunity. I hit a home run. Fortunate enough that Jared Washburn missed in the middle of the plate. I hit a home run, and coming from home to third to home, I could see the family section, and I'm like, my wife's holding my daughters. This is a great moment. And I remember, Erica, this is the funny part. I go out to the third base, and I look in the dugout, and Jared Washburn looks at me and he tips his hat to me, and I'm like, wow, that's
cool.
Pretty cool. Next at bat, guess what I did?
Punchy?
I punched out. And of course, what did I do?
Tip your cap.
Tip my hat right back to him. So I got a couple cool memories, but it's great to see Randall Grichuk hit that second homer last night. Hopefully he's able to carry that momentum into the rest of the series and the entire season.
And he'll have stories like you just did for the rest of his life following that moment in his career. Stay with us. You ready to get to work? We got a little Moose sighting. We're going to break down his swing. That's next. Stay with us right here on Valley Sports. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Raleigh Studios. Brooke Fletcher, Russell Dorsey, Russ.
What makes baseball even better? Shohei, more action? How about more steals, Acuna? More hits? Nestor? Okay, Mookie, more hits? What if the games are just quicker?
Just a bit outside.
The game has changed, and fans are saying, oh, yeah.
Wake up to baseball's biggest stories.
Robert Flores wearing tweed.
Wake up to big-name guests.
Very special guests hanging out on the crushed red velvet.
This show is tough to get ready for.
And wake up to a whole lot of fun.
Wearing a robe holding a wooden phone.
MLB Central.
It's absolutely hilarious.
The show baseball fans and baseball players wake up to.
The show's starting to pick up.
I love the energy. I love the unexpected performances.
Weekday mornings on MLB Network.
We'll have a little fun and we'll laugh.
Steelers experience amazing. Angels and Rangers coming up in just a little bit. We get you set for first pitch before the Halos head back home. And we're talking that guy, Moose sighting, because Denny Hocking, man, has he been a fan favorite ever since he came over, and it's because he delivers moments like this, home runs, clutch moments late in ball games.
Well, when you look at what Moustakas' resume is, right? World Series champion, big game player. All he's done is continue to bring that resume over to the Angels and produce like he's done in the past.
6 games game-tying or go-ahead home run since June 26, tied for second most in Major League Baseball. It's remarkable the little resurgence that he's seen ever since coming back home to SoCal, and we couldn't be any more grateful for it, not to mention the leadership qualities that he has, too.
You know, when I watch the Angels, I look for energy givers. My son's going to get mad at me for saying that. But energy givers. Zach Neto is an absolute energy giver. Moustakas is the exact same guy with an incredibly longer resume. And I love seeing what he does on the field. He's a mentor for some of these younger guys. When he's able to go out there and do the clutch gene, as a younger player, you got to be going, man, how do I get that? And I think he's passing it on.
So how do they get that? We didn't move things out of the way just so you could see our shoes. We're going to do a demo talking about Moose's swing and how he is able to be effective in those moments. Take it away.
Okay, so when I watch Moose hit, it's just, for me, everything about hitting is the foundation right here. We talk about just having a really good pyramid when you land. So if you can go ahead and run it, let's see where he gets to his pyramid. And just how rhythmic that he is in the batter's box. There's very little motion. If you want to be a better hitter, you've got to be able to see the ball better. And right when he gets the foot strike, go ahead and stop it right there. So just before this frame, you'll see his back leg is very stable. He's able to hit off the firm backside. He's able to hit against a firm front side. It's almost like it looks like a pyramid. When you have that going on, Erica, you know where your barrel is. You've got barrel awareness. Your hands are going to go directly to the ball, and you just see his laser vision out here of where his contact point is. It's a slider down and in, and this is poetry in motion. It's beautiful. And the other thing is I love when you hit balls and you see catchers act like they're going to squeeze it. And when you're locked in late game situations like Moose has been, when that ball's halfway to home plate, you almost sit there and you go, timeout. Just put your glove down, buddy, because you're not going to catch this ball. You may want to alert the guy out there. And he does it so efficiently in his movements. So it's from the foundation up, creates barrel awareness, it creates that whip, and it's such a pretty swing when he shows it off.
Well, the biggest difference for him this year is the fact that he's healthy, right? The last few years for him has been plagued by some injuries that have just lingered, so his body's feeling good, he's healthy. How much of what we just saw in that swing there was the Moose we were seeing when he was on that run with the Royals not too long ago?
Oh, and that's exactly the same guy that you saw when he was wearing the blue and white out at Kauffman. But what I like is we've transitioned from a guy that the Angels have acquired in Randall Grichuk into another guy that they acquired in Moustakas. And two guys that are just trying to go out there and be themselves. And Grich yesterday hitting his second home run. Hopefully he turns into that guy that they acquired more consistently. But Moose has probably actually elevated the expectations since he's been here. And it's not just been the production, it's been the versatility to play both corners, and then the leadership quality that you mentioned has been off the charts.
Denny, you're pretty good at that demo stuff. You might have a future in this gig. You never know.
You know what?
Getting closer.
I'm just trying to pass on the incredible knowledge I was fortunate enough to accrue when I was in the big leagues.
There you go. Good stuff. Stay with us. First pitch getting closer and closer from Arlington. When we return, it's Reid Detmers. He gets the ball in the finale. We'll talk it over, how he can be effective in this one. Stay with us.
See it.
He struck him out. It's out of here.
Feel it.
I can't wait for this game to start. He took a home run away.
Live it.
That is as good as it gets.
The big plays.
The beauty of sports is when the hero comes through.
Yeah, the tense moments.
We have an update we must show you. He's done it again.
With live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
That might be what it takes to win.
MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
MLB The Show Legend Line. Ready to play?
Let's get it.
Come on. Nice.
That was sick.
Man, you like that? Check out the new Storylines mode where you can play as one of the Negro League baseball legends.
Your voice sounds familiar. Do I know you?
Just call me the captain.
Rated E for everyone.
This is Garrett Cole. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Garrett Cole plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network. This is Mookie Betts. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Mookie Betts plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network.
Reid Detmers goes today. How can he be successful against this tough Rangers lineup?
It's a really tough lineup that he's going to face again tonight. The guy leading the charge is Marcus Semien. He's had success against Reid Detmers. I think if he gets him out in the first inning, that'll trend him in the right direction. So really bear down on Semien tonight.
And keeping in mind the fact that he does have a rested bullpen behind him as we look at Phil Nevin's lineup behind Reid Detmers, what sticks out to you in this one against John Gray?
Hunter Renfroe. Apparently, I saw on social media that Hunter Renfroe's favorite color is gray. He's going to be facing gray tonight. 5 for 12, 3 homers. Hopefully, he can get an opportunity to hit a homer against his best color tonight.
How much history does that come into play with a hitter?
Oh, you know on guys that you find barrels on.
Oh, all right, let's hope that's the case. Let's hope this guy, maybe he goes yard tonight. Thanks for watching. Mark Gubas and Wayne Rendez will have the call. We'll see you after the game.
Covering a full night of baseball is a team effort, and it all starts right here with MLB Tonight's first pitch.
Let's go to the ballpark so you get a chance to look around a little bit.
A match between the best teams in the National League going head-to-head.
During the games, we take you to the games where you might see a live walk-off. And after the games, we want to hear from the players as bad as you do.
First career walk-off hit. How did that one feel?
Man, it's as good as it gets.
And that's how this team covers every team on MLB Tonight.
This is Mookie Betts. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Mookie Betts plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network. Think baseball.
There's something that's been missing in the debate.
Think analysis.
He really looked like the perfect thing to add to this club last night.
Think advanced metrics.
The new rules are having an impact, and I'll bottom line it.
Think MLB Now, the show for the thinking fan, only on MLB Network.
LA, Valley Sports West, the heart of the fan.
They say all roads Rams lead to Texas, and for the Angels, their last road game in the great state of Texas tonight, the last one of this three-game series between the Angels and the Texas Rangers from Globe Life Field. Alongside Mark Gubiza, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and Gubi, as the Angels try to get a victory in this series, well, they're hoping that Reid Detmers can get going and pitch like he did the last time he was here.
Yeah, Wayne, you got to get everything going here for Reid Detmers. He's got to be able to go out there with a lot more confidence. He's got to attack with his pitches, but the first thing for me, he's got to be able to change speeds with his slider. He's able to throw his slider at 88, and then he's able to throw that one down in the zone and get a chase there at 85. Remember, early in the season, he was throwing at 92, 93. He's got to get away from that. And also, backdoor his curveball. That uses an all-speed pitch to be able to expand the strike zone, make them look for a breaking ball on the outer half of the plate, especially a number of the right-handed batters in the lineup here today. Above all, it's all set up by his balance on the pitching rubber. When he has that balance, he's going to keep that front shoulder in and not have that fastball get so much to the plate where the hitters can see that pitch a little bit longer. Keep that front shoulder in there, keep a better balance over there, and attack the strike zone with his fastball will set up his secondary pitches.
It has not been a great road lately for Reid Detmers, but he'll try to get things going tonight. So we take a look at our Mr. Clean quick stats. And for the Angels and Reid Detmers, really the offense needing to get going as well, as the month of August has seen this team really struggle in terms of how they've gone after pitches, first pitches, chasing a lot, swinging too much. We've talked about, Gooby, how they have not drawn many walks in the month of August and really haven't gotten on base overall.
And Wayne, what it comes down to is the hitters are swinging at pitchers' pitches. In other words, they know they're going to be aggressive. They're swinging at the first pitch, so they're just going off the strike zone, and they're swinging at those and making a lot of soft contact. You got to bring them in the strike zone, maybe see a pitch or two. Don't go out there chasing. Bring him in the strike zone, and that's when you're going to be successful. Against Gray here tonight, bring that fastball in the zone because he gives up a lot of hits on his fastball.
That is John Gregg. Normally around the plate tonight for the Texas Rangers in the last game of this series. The Angels trying to get it going. Randall Grichuk maybe getting the momentum swung with his 9th inning home run in front of his parents here in Texas last night. We'll have game 3 between the Angels and the Rangers coming up.
Covering a full night of baseball is a team effort, and it all starts right here with MLB Tonight's first pitch.
Let's go to the ballpark so you get a chance to look around a little bit.
A match between the best teams in the National League going head-to-head.
During the games, we take you to the games where you might see a live walk-off. And after the games, we want to hear from the players as bad as you do.
First career walk-off hit. How did that one feel?
Oh, man, it's as good as it gets.
And that's how this team covers every team on MLB Tonight.
You want highlights? Quick Pitch has you covered, packing all the day's biggest plays into one lightning-fast hour.
What a play!
We live today, preview tomorrow on Quick Pitch. Late nights and early mornings, only on MLB Network.
What makes baseball even better? Shohei, more action? How about more steals, Acuna? More hits? Nestor? Okay, Mookie, more hits? What if the games are just quicker?
Just a bit outside.
The game has changed, and fans are saying, oh, yeah.
Hey kids, join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you. Play ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game on MLB Network.
Well, Valley Sports brought to you by Hyundai. Get away with a great deal only at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Visit buyhyundai.com today. By the OC Healthcare Agency, build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. By your local Southern California Cadillac dealers. And by Crimely, authentic French frozen yogurt, good for you and good for the world. The Angels and the Texas Rangers here at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Newest Major League Baseball stadium as the Angels and Rangers played tonight. We'll give you the lineup brought to you by Simpson Chevy. Mickey Moniak back at the top of the order today with Shohei Ohtani hitting behind him. Mike Moustakas playing first base. C.J. Cron not in there once again. Randall Grichuk hit a home run in the 9th inning yesterday. He's batting 9th against John Gray, the veteran, on the mound for the Rangers tonight.
Yeah, good fastball, still 93-98, about 42% fastball usage. Slider, changeup, sweeper, and curveball. My go-tos to have success against Gray here tonight. He's throwing the ball well this season for the Rangers. His crushed fastballs. Some batting average of 346, slugging at 546 with 8 home runs versus fastball. And don't be in chase mode against his secondary pitches. Combined 164 batting average with 67 strikeouts with all his secondary pitches. And the defense behind Gray today. Tavares out in center field. He's got 3 outfield assists. We've seen him so often. He can cover a ton of ground. Jakowski out in left, Garcia in right. You got Duran and Seager, Simeon and Lowe in the infield, and Carver behind the plate for Gray.
The Angels will try to find their offense. They have not scored more than 3 runs in a game on this road trip. They've only won once here in Texas. It was on Sunday in Houston. They'll try to escape Arlington with a victory tonight before the Angels head back home for a homestand that will include the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cincinnati Reds at Angels Stadium. And here is Mickey Moniak. You see the numbers overall on the season still look good for Moniak, but it's been a struggle lately, especially making contact. And he'll try to do just that against John Gray to start things off tonight. And the first pitch blown by him at 96 miles an hour.
And you wonder, because Gray's fastball has been hit hard, but Moniak has been struggling with that fastball when it's been elevated at the top of the zone.
Opponents have been close to 350 against Gray's fastball this year. His slider, though, has been his go-to pitch. He has thrown it over half the time in his last 3 starts, and those starts have been a lot better for John Gray, including his last outing against the Giants, in which he worked 7 scoreless innings and gave up 2 hits.
So 3 straight fastballs to Moniak. He will throw a changeup. You mentioned slider. I would imagine he tries an even higher fastball here.
97 with that one, and Moniak was able to foul it off. 22 strikeouts in the last 46 at-bats for Mickey Moniak. He's not a guy who walks a lot. Really a team that at times was drawing walks. They haven't lately. And Phil Nevin attributes some of that to the fact that they have faced a lot of strike-throwing teams of late. Another strike thrower on the mound tonight in John Gray, as he has walked only 39 hitters in 120 innings this year.
And generally he's not a big strikeout guy, but he's around the strike zone.
He's had the 3rd most strikeouts in Rockies history. This year actually his lowest strikeout rate of his career. And Moniak able to lay off there to make the count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's a good battle here and there for Moniak. You're seeing quite a few pitches here. To be the 7th one, gives Shohei Ohtani a real good look in the on-deck circle too.
Moniak drives that one, but foul to the right. And he'll keep the at-bat going, so this will be at least an 8-pitch at-bat to start the game.
And Hyundai key for the game today. Going, it's all coming back to me now. A little meatloaf. In other words, you got to come back and get yourself in position. Bring the pitches in the zones, coming back to that basics of what they had early in the season, where the entire lineup 1 through 9 was hitting the baseball well.
It was former Angels manager Joe Madden who would always reference meatloaf to try to win a series, saying, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, it ain't, but since first 2 didn't go that way, so I couldn't go there.
Right. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, meatloaf originally, God rest his soul, born here in Dallas area.
Moniak strikes out.
Helped him out a little bit. That would have been a borderline pitch call to strike.
And you wonder what he does against Shohei Ohtani. We know how well he hits fastballs. And Shohei has seen a lot of first pitch changeups and even sliders down and in.
Shohei parked his 41st home run of the year in Sunday's win in Houston. He's not gone deep in this series, but he has certainly done well in this ballpark this year. He's hit over 400 against the Rangers at Globe Life Field. There's a high fly ball, left center field, struck pretty well. Tavares back at the wall, and it's gone. Shohei Ohtani has reached number 42, and the hair flies around the bases with Shohei as he gives the Angels a 1-0 lead.
Boy, almost on cue what we talked about, Wayne. You remember beginning of the game here, he went laid off that first pitch changeup out of the zone, and he brought a fastball at least over the middle part of the plate, maybe a little bit elevated, but he jumps on that one. A 96-mile-an-hour fastball for Shohei, number 42. Segoy.
Those flowing locks as he ran around the bases without his helmet. And now the kabuto placed on his head. 42nd home run for Shohei Ohtani. All those Ranger rabble-rousers that were out there in right center field yesterday, they're not there today to celebrate.
That's a nice swing, a nice start here for the Angels. It's a long way out that way. It's over to 410 sign.
It's the first home run allowed by Gray since July 14th. And the Angels have the lead. And something they have not had at any point in this series. And ball 2 strikes on Brandon Drury.
Fastball was up, and he knew it. He's on it. After changeup out of the zone, fastball. That's a pretty good launch angle on that one, too. Lost the helmet on that swing. We haven't seen that in a while for Shohei.
That's why I didn't have it. It's running the bases. There's a bloop to right. This one might drop. Coming in for it, Garcia, and he makes a sliding catch.
Well, he covered a lot of ground on that. I thought for sure that was going to fall in. I had a chance of kicking away from him. He could be running for a while. See how deep he's playing the right center, and that speed, the closing speed to be able to run that one down. Turns on the afterburner, gets it just before it hits the field turf. We know how good that arm is out there in the outfield, but he's played some center field, and that's a center fielder type play in right field for Garcia.
Good play by him to rob Drury of a hit. Here's Mike Moustakas. Shohei Ohtani with his 42nd home run. I mentioned his other home run in this road trip came in an Angel win against the Astros, so trying to make that happen here again today. As the Angels head back home after this one, they'd like to at least squeeze one out over the Rangers in this series. It's hit hard to the right side and through for Moustakas. So the Angels have a couple of hits, including Shohei's home run, and now the batter will be Rengifo.
Another fastball, another hit. Again, just bring it into a spot in the zone, make good contact, and that's exactly what Moustakas did.
John Gray got off to a pretty good start to the season, threw a complete game in a loss to the Cardinals, 1-0 loss on June 7th. At that point, his ERA was 2.32. Started to rise a bit from there. Here's a ball that goes to the backstop. That'll push Moustakas to second base.
Sometimes you just got to add on, especially after a wild pitch there. It gets away in scoring position. And Rengifo with 37 RBIs.
The umpires are coming together. Marvin Hudson is the crew chief. The Angels called for a review to see if this was a hit by pitch. And home plate umpire Ryan Blakeney.
Los Angeles challenging the no call of hit by pitch on the field.
Yep, so that's what it is. The Angels believe that
it's right at his foot.
Yeah, Rengifo was hit by the pitch, so we haven't seen the replay yet. We'll get a look, and Make our own call here, and then we'll wait for the umpires in Midtown Manhattan to do the same.
That looked like it did touch it.
It does look like it hit him right on the toe.
As they play Curb Your Enthusiasm here. It was a curve ball that hit his foot.
I don't know. Larry David's a big baseball fan.
Yes,
so
yes, he is.
I guess that counts.
You want to get those added base runners on too, and when you think about it, you have Theiss coming up to the plate with a chance to drive one of those baseballs a long way.
The Angels trying to get a quick start. On top of Reid Detmers, the Angels offense has struggled in the month of August. As much as the pitching has, so has the offense. It really has been every facet of the game.
By the way, it doesn't feel like this should be taking this long.
Yeah, really. Hifo's headed
yeah,
first.
There he goes. He's going to walk down himself, say, I'll speed it up.
You know what I think? A 60-second limit should be in place.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The batter was hit by the pitch, and Los Angeles will retain their challenge.
Thank you very much, Marvin Hudson.
The marvelous one.
Yes, sir. So we'll head back to first base. Renifo's already there after being hit by the pitch. Now the Angels will have runners on first and second with Matt Theiss coming up. Sixth man to bat here in the first inning against John Gray. Gray from Shawnee, Oklahoma, went to the University of Oklahoma. A neighboring state to the north. He was the number 3 overall draft pick 10 years ago, selected by Colorado, and was decent for the Rockies, as decent as you can be, pitching at Coors Field.
So far,
Theiss 2-0.
You're seeing some patience. Not going out there and expanding the zone and going after the first pitch, even though you're going to be aggressive, and the Angels are going to be aggressive. We talked about the Astros, and they've had a lot of success, but there's a difference when you're swinging at pitches that are going to be off the plate. You want to bring them in the zone. That's when you can be aggressive on the first pitch.
The Angels have drawn 23 walks so far in the month of August. It has dropped their on-base percentage to a major league worst .246 this month. They haven't hit much either to make up for it, so the Angels trying to find ways to get on base tonight. So far they have. A home run, a single, and a hit by pitch, and now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Theiss. Ray trying to at least minimize the damage. This will be his 24th pitch of the first inning. And he strikes out Matt Theiss with a fastball to end it. But the Angels do have a lead for the first time in the series. Shohei Ohtani rips his 42nd home run of the year. The helmet flies off, the hair flies, and the Angels are up by 1.
Create amazing work with Fiverr. All you need is your team and a talented freelancer who will lend a hand and seamlessly join your team from just about anywhere. Expand your team with a Fiverr freelancer.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too.
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Welcome to the Aura Sleep Lab. You need a bit more deep sleep. Getting enough high-quality sleep increases immunity. Why? Because sleep helps fend off sickness. A good night's sleep boosts your number of infection-fighting antibodies and cells. And with your Aura Ring, you can learn how to sleep deep and keep your immunity up. It's like having a sleep lab on your finger. Go to sleep with auraring.com.
If we weren't proud of the craftsmanship and level of detail that go into every pair of Warby Parker glasses, well, we probably wouldn't show you how they're made, including this part, which is our favorite. Wow. And this is also great. Each pair comes standard with lenses that are scratch-resistant, anti-reflective, and UV protective. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
Reid Detmers on the mound.
And he threw really well back here last time the Angels were in here in June. You can just forget about those numbers and record and everything else. He had a really solid bullpen session in between starts, just working on, just getting back to the basics, staying balanced over that pitching rubber like we talked in the open, is staying on top of the baseball and using all his pitches.
Detmers with that unsightly ERA. It has been his last several starts that have not gone very well. First pitch to Marcus Semien fouled off. The last two in particular, giving up 7 runs in each of them. As the Rangers lineup, well, they can hit. They score the most runs in the American League. And Bruce Bochy, who has the 10th most wins in Major League history, guiding the ship now for Texas. And Semien pops one toward the right field line, and foul ground. Moustakas ranges to make the catch.
You'd like to see that. 2 fastballs in a row, gets a pop-up. 2 pitch out there for Reid Detmers.
These Angel pitchers have good arms. For the most part, they all throw pretty hard. And fastball usage is something that is seemingly down across the board for this roster.
Yeah, barely over 40%, and Detmers at 42%. When you can touch 97, you want to use that fastball more.
And Detmers from the left side can get it up there in the mid to high 90s as he throws ball 1 to Corey Seager, who homered twice. You see Seager's average at 350, actually catching up to Luis Arraez for the highest batting average in the major leagues. Arraez, who made that bid for 400 in the first half of the season, he's come back to earth a little bit. He's hitting 363. And now Seager at 350. Seager is still 23 plate appearances shy of qualifying for the batting title, but even if he put an 0 for 23 on him, he would still be the American League leader in hitting. So in some ways he would win the batting title if the season ended today. And there's 4 out of the strike zone, not really close from Detmers, as Seager draws a 1-out walk.
And the defense behind Reid Detmers and the trust you need to have to be successful. And that all starts with the man behind the plate that trusts with Matt Theiss, be able to call the right pitches, frame them, and keep them in line to make sure he's confident, but also able to hit his spots away from the middle of the plate.
Here's Adolis Garcia. He swings at the first pitch and pops it up shallow right. Drury goes out. Renfroe comes in. Long run for both, and it's Drury who tracks it down.
And last time in back in June, take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. The out pitches, 18 of them. A 4-seam fastball. He's able to get 9 outs with that slider with 5 and curveball. See there, especially that 4-seam fastball. A lot on the upper part of the strike zone. He got some chases with his slider, either the lower part or below the strike zone for Reid Detmers. So if he's establishing, be able to throw strikes, you're going to eventually get a lot of swings of pitches that are not in the strike zone. That's going to be important for him today.
Strike 2, Nathaniel Lowe with Seager aboard at first. Lowe has had a decent year offensively, not as good as he was last year. And he was the Silver Slugger winner at first base in the American League. Ball 1 strike on Nathaniel Lowe. This ball sharply, but Rengifo right there behind second, stayed on his feet and took to the second base bag to beat Seager to win the inning.
If sports fans built a streaming service.
Can't believe the football season is over.
Yeah, but with my stuff, we can rewatch all the games we recorded.
The Minnesota comeback.
JJ's finale.
Butt punt.
Oh, is that what the My Stuff feature was invented for? Saving butt-related content? Because I thought it was for keeping your favorite TV shows and movies all in one place.
Sorry, Mr. Sanchez.
Live TV and sports and more, but mostly sports. That's Fubo!
When the details take precedence, the rest falls perfectly into place. We strip away everything but the essential. And what we're left with are thoughtful bedrooms for modern living. Thuma.
Sure, you'll teach her to drive a car. Then use Greenlight and teach her to save up for her own car. Mowing lawns and getting paid.
Navigate the world of earning, saving, and investing together.
Invest in your best investment. Greenlight.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
Hit this season, and it been hit hard in the first inning. Shohei Ohtani, a fastball even slightly above the strike zone, going 437. That's 109.1 miles per hour exit velocity. And then this fastball against Mike Moustakas, that was also a base hit on 109 miles per hour exit velocity on that one.
It's been the case all year for John Gray, where his fastball has been susceptible to damage. He's been very good with his secondary pitches, in particular his slider. You see the fastball has been roughed up all year, and the Angels did some damage on it in the first inning. Now with the lead, Hunter Renfroe with a ground ball. Nice play by Semien. Quick to his feet, but his throw nowhere near. And Hunter Renfroe has a base hit.
And he's had some success against John Gray coming in there. That's now his 6th hit in 13 at-bats. Also with 3 home runs. And with a slider there, up the middle. It's amazing how a second baseman get that far beyond that bag to be able to make that play on the backhand. Semien's a Gold Glove winner at second base when he's with the Blue Jays.
Angels have 3 batters in their lineup that have hit at least 2 homers against Gray in their careers. A pitch timer violation was just called against Escobar, I believe. So it's no balls and a strike. As Eduardo Escobar gets in the box here. He drives one toward right center field. That falls for a base hit.
Some serious traffic already against Gray.
Back-to-back hits to begin the second inning. Escobar has hit a couple of homers against Gray. Renfroe's hit 3, as you mentioned, and Shohei now has hit 2. So Escobar continues to hit the ball well against Gray.
Showed in the first inning a couple hits on fastballs, a couple hits on sliders this inning. That's kind of the spin right there in the zone.
The Angels already with 4 hits off of John Gray, and here's Randall Grichuk, who homered in the 9th inning yesterday. Enjoyed Carlin's visit with Grichuk's parents yesterday, who have been tracking Randall around the state of Texas, his home state. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Grichuk. Our Carl's Cam replay shows Grichuk's 3rd home run with the Angels.
He stayed on that. Was a good swing on an off-speed pitch, secondary pitch, and he was able to get that over the wall. Left center is the 11th home run of the season. So far, so good as far as patience at the plate for the hitters. Seeing some rewards for that.
Grichuk now 296 home runs behind Tim Salmon for the most home runs by a player that has won 15 in Angels history.
Yeah, he's just about there.
It's a bouncing ball to short. Seager to Semien for 1, over to first for 2. It's a double play off the bat of Grichuk. And 2 big outs for John Gray as Renfroe goes to 3rd.
The 10th double play turned behind Gray this season.
Bring up Moniak, who struck out his first time. Of course, Grichuk, had he been an Angel this whole time, might have been a lot closer to Salmon's home run total. He's hit 186 in his big league career. And the 1st round pick of the Angels, Randall Grichuk, and here's a former #1 overall draft pick, Mickey Moniak, hitting a pop-up behind short. And as Corey Seager has it, the Angels threaten but don't score.
Covering a full night of baseball is a team effort. From the first pitch,
let's go to the ballpark,
to live look-ins and post-game reactions.
Tell us how this one feels.
That's how this team covers every team on MLB Tonight.
games and coverage. All day, every day, your way. On MLB Network.
This game on 4 days rest. That is a little bit of a quicker turnaround than usual for an Angels starting pitcher. He only threw 48 pitches on Friday, and he made mention that maybe it's better to kind of shake that one off a little bit quicker this time and get back to the mound without the typical 5 days in between.
That would be the normal for most rotations around baseball with the Angels. So this last number of seasons, 6-man rotation. Different, but yeah, you want to get back out there as quick as possible.
Mitch Garver looks at a strike on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Detmers.
It's a good backdoor curveball. As a hitter, you give up on it because you feel it's got to be off the plate. He brings it around and gets that corner.
Garver with a soft pop-up toward shallow center field. Drury backpedaling as he makes the catch. And there's one away here in the second as we say hello to Carlin Bay.
Hello right back to you, Wayne. And Randall Grichuk, we've been talking about him being a Texas native and his parents, Beverly and George, following him along this entire road trip. Well, I think they brought him some good luck last night as he was able to hit a 2-run home run right in front of their eyes. And despite the team result, I saw them after the game. They were so thrilled to have seen that in person. It was a really special moment for them. And they kind of talked about how this has been a full circle moment for him and his whole family. And being a deadline acquisition, you know, he didn't get to debut as an Angel until years and years later after being drafted. And guys, the Little League World Series also, he was a part of it twice.
Here's a bouncing ball from Ezekiel Duran. Long throw, Rengifo, but it's dropped at first by Moustakas. And safe at first base is Ezekiel Duran. So Duran is on. Carlin, back to you.
Great job, Wayne. I was just going to say, the Little League World Series, we know it kicks off today, and he got to be a part of that twice, and he actually sent some well wishes to the Southwest team. Got to place him a call, tell them good luck, and it was something that was another full circle moment for him. So take it away, Wayne.
Yeah, two-time participant in the Little League World Series, one of just 3 big leaguers that played in the Little League World Series on 2 separate occasions. And the Little League Classic coming up in Williamsport too. I know the Phillies are going to be a part of that. It's going to be great for those kids to be up close and personal with Bryce Harper and Trey Turner and some of the best players in the game today and some of the big personalities in baseball too on that Philly team. I think they're playing Washington, so those guys will be there too.
Yeah, they'll be there too. The interesting thing on that play, Duran got down that line 30.2 feet per second. That is elite speed, and that ground ball, not squared up necessarily, was on a changeup from Reid, which is good to see.
Well, they shockingly gave an error to Rengifo. We've seen so many balls called hits this year that on somewhat routine plays, this one wasn't even as routine as some of the ones we've seen. But Rengifo was given an error, so kudos to Larry Bump, the official scorer here in Arlington tonight.
I'm going to leave that down as a hit. I think that's going to go back to be a hit at some point.
3 balls and a strike on Robbie Grossman, the DH.
Yeah, you can't let that affect you. If you read Detmers thinking, okay, let me get a ground ball He's got 7 double plays turned behind him. He's had 3 pop-ups caught by infielders already in this game.
Some soft contact early on. There's a strike to make it full on Grossman, 3-2. Detmers using his fastball more often so far tonight.
And his command with his fastball has been pretty solid. Outside of against Corey Seager, it's been solid.
Fastball was in the strike zone, but fouled by Grossman. At this point, Detmers has thrown about 55% fastballs.
It's about 13% more than a norm for Reid Detmers, at 42% fastball usage coming into the game.
Throw over to first. Maybe Moustakas reach a bit, but Duran held up at first base.
10 stolen bases and 13 attempts against Detmers this year. 1 pickoff.
See if Duran is moving here. The count's 3-2 on Grossman. The breaking ball is lifted toward the left field line. Grichuk is moving over for it. He gets there.
Hey, a real good jump on that one.
2 outs, and Grossman fly down on another ball that was not hit very hard.
It was curveball off speed, especially after a perfect fastball down and away the pitch before. That jump in the route that Grichuk took, he was able to run that one down off the bat. I was thinking I had a chance of falling in there, but that closing speed made it look routine in the end.
Here's Travis Jankowski. Going to start with the lefty on the mound.
Like that fastball use. You mentioned the percentage, Wayne. It's been good for him, especially downstairs with his fastball on occasion.
Seems like the teams that throw a lot of strikes, those strike-throwing teams, in particular the Seattle Mariners, they really spot their fastballs more times than not. It's Detmers missing just by a bit there to make it 1 ball, 1 strike on Jankowski, but a little bit more of a heavy usage fastball team, at least in terms of their starters.
Even though that was out of the strike zone, wasn't out by much. So as a hitter now, you're more apt to swing at a pitch that's not in that middle part of the plate.
2 balls, 1 strike on Jankowski. A lot of power, but he's been very good at finding his way on base this year. A .384 on base percentage for Jankowski, helped by a 13% walk rate. That is a fair ball.
Nice job by Moustakas cutting that out off right away, keeping it in fair territory.
MLB Tonight, the ultimate late-night baseball party.
Oh, man.
With live look-ins to the night's biggest moments.
How hot was that?
That's money.
What?
The best interviews.
I've never asked a player, do you need a blanket? It is kind of cold out there.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best former players fresh off the field.
Get your hands up.
There's nothing quite like MLB Tonight.
This is going to be a big deal tonight.
This one takes the cake. That is awesome.
MLB Tonight, late nights on MLB Network.
What makes baseball even better? Shohei, more action? How about more steals, Acuna? More hits? Nestor? Okay, Mookie, more hits? What if the games are just quicker?
Just a bit outside.
The game has changed, and fans are saying, oh yeah.
Cheeks flowing as he rounded the bases after his 42nd home run of the year. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Oh, I thought it was going to be on the hair flow. It's just on the swing.
Yeah, it still went pretty quick off the bat, 109.1. Maybe we'll have to change our key to the game to Pearl Gen, even flow, with that flow of the hair going around.
I wanted to see the StatCast on that. You know, the bounce per second on his hair bouncing around as he rounded the bases. Just 5 away now from the single season home run record in Angels history. There's plenty of time to get there. Chasing Troy Gloss for that. And still chasing Matt Olson for the major league lead in home runs. Entering today's play, the Atlanta Braves slugger with 43, and now Shohei has 42. The Braves in action tonight against the Yankees. And Olson has not homered.
He's got 8 home runs in this ballpark already for Shohei.
He's hit a whole bunch this year, and they've all been tattooed.
And it seemed a lot of them go to left center field.
Shohei just fighting off that fastball, and he stays alive.
Wasn't that much further away from the pitch he hit out. That was a fastball up. They were setting up inside Garver was, and it went out over the plate. Slightly late on that one. But still wasn't that much difference in that ball he hit out to left center on the fastball up and out of the zone.
He drives this one toward the right field line, but it hooks foul. Off the screen down inside the right field line. Shohei hit his career-high 46 home runs in 2021 on his way to the MVP that year. He's pretty much got the MVP wrapped up this year. And he reaches out and pokes that ball on a hop to the left side. Durant a long throw. It is not in time.
I was wondering why he was taking his time. Don't look at that. That was pretty close. But he got down the line quickly on that one. And Durant with a strong throwing arm. He was out working all day long. Early work as far as his defense. They're satisfied with that call at first base, how quickly Shohei got down the line. So he homers his first at bat, and then he beats out a ground ball to the third baseman. Playing shortstop position, but still, I mean, you can see how quick Shohei was. Just a little bit more time than he really should have taken on that one with Shohei running.
And Durant setting his feet. He's patting his mitt, and Shohei's running about 30 feet per second down the line. There's a strike to Brandon Drury. Shohei had his helmet intact as he ran up the first base line that time.
Yeah, he's picking the right time to go around the bases without the helmet on.
I'd like to see him just whip it and take off to try to steal. Let the hair go.
Gary Matthews Sr. on that.
Guess you're a little more aerodynamic when you have the helmet on.
He's got the hair even going through the helmet. Look.
Oh.
Daniel Lowe's going through. Your hair's going through the helmet. He's trying to help him out. Everyone loves Shohei.
Unbelievable. Now he's fixing it.
Yeah. He says thank you.
There we go. Lock it in. Perfect. One ball, 2 strikes on Brandon Drury, who flied out to right his first time. Hits this one on the ground to second. Simeon to Seager, and on to Lowe for a double play. Back-to-back innings. The Angels have hit into a double play, and now 2 out, nobody on. The Angels have hit into 99 double plays this season. It's the second most in the American League. Only the Blue Jays have hit into more. In the major leagues, the Marlins have hit into more than 20 more than anybody else. A whole lot of double plays that Miami team is hit into.
Yeah, they're battling the Astros back and forth. The Astros up in that game 6-5 in the 7th.
Astros trying to win that series. Houston's 3.5 back right now in the American League West, while the Marlins try to hold the last wild card spot in a crowded National League. Bouncer off the bat of Moustakas. Simeon flips it to first. And that ends the top of the 3rd.
modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan. Off Base, with interviews and coverage of baseball's hottest stars.
I've done a couple interviews in my life. This probably is the most fun I've ever been a part of.
Only on MLB Network. You want highlights? Quick Pitch has you covered.
I'd say this calls for celebration.
Packing all today's biggest plays into one lightning-fast hour.
Oh, my goodness! What a play!
Every game. Every night.
Swing and a miss!
Every highlight that makes the headlines.
Are you kidding me?
We live today, preview tomorrow.
This race in the NL Central is getting good.
On Quick Pitch. Late nights and early mornings, only on MLB Network.
Contact on the pitches in the lower part of the strike zone, whether it's a fastball, his slider, very good as far as soft contact, keeping it down, then another slider down as they're trying to lift that baseball on the mid, but get solid contact against Reid Detmers. So soft contact on pitches down. All his pitches so far been solid, down as far as getting outs with it.
Strike two, Leody Taveras leading off here in the bottom of the third. The curveball landing for Detmers to begin this third inning. Detmers, by the time the third inning ended in his last start, he had given up 7 runs and he was already in the shower. Taveras hits one well toward right, pretty deep. In for a long run after it, makes the running catch and goes up the wall, Bo Jackson style.
Yeah, all he needed was get another foot up there and to start running around that wall. You know, his favorite player all time athlete is Bo Jackson, so he almost did a Bo Jackson. He just tried to kick the wall down instead of run up that wall.
He forgot to make the left turn.
Nice play. Another good route in the outfield so far between Grichuk now Renfroe.
It's really the hardest hit ball so far from the Rangers as Taveras hit it sharply but out to Renfroe. So one away here in the third, and it's back to the top of the order with Semien, who fouled out his first time. Semien another RBI last night, trying to make a bid to join Darren Erstad and Charlie Blackmon. He's the only leadoff man in baseball history to have 100 RBI seasons. Semien's driven in 78 this year. 2 balls and a strike. Detmers said he's trying to focus on a mechanical tweak between his last start Friday in Houston and this one against the Rangers, trying to get more upright on the mound, standing taller, as he put it.
Gives him a better chance of being balanced and hiding the baseball better, especially with his fastball. A little frustrated on that last pitch. Looking up to see what the count is now, being a 3-1 count. He's got to be really quick here before he has a pitch timer violation.
Into the curve on 3-1 and got Semien out in front of it. So it's 3 balls, 2 strikes on Semien. He's blossomed into one of the better hitters in the game and a guy who plays every single day and has for the last number of years. Marcus Semien has played in more games than anyone in the majors dating back to the start of the 2019 season. There's a high fly left center field, hit pretty well. Moniak is back, has room, and makes the catch to retire Semien. 2 up, 2 down. We'll take a ride with Hyundai.
Get away with a great deal only at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Seager's going to be up there this time around thinking first pitch swing.
Seager fouling that one off. A slider from Detmers on the first pitch. We've seen Seager really pick apart those first pitches. 4 home runs against the Angels this year and 2 in the game last night.
It's a good spot, especially a first pitch slider away, fastball just about half a baseball off the inside corner.
Good curveball there to make it 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, Seager doesn't move a whole lot. He just stays right in that batter's box, doesn't he? This is right there. Chokes up on the bat.
Lines this one towards center. Moniak coming in, slides, makes the catch. Excellent job by Mickey Moniak on that low liner off the bat of Seager.
Another great read in the outfield so far for the Angels, all 3.
Think baseball.
There's something that's been missing in the debate.
Think analysis.
He really looked like the perfect thing to add to this club last night.
Think advanced metrics.
The new rules are having an impact, and I'll bottom line it.
Think MLB Now, the show for the thinking fan, only on MLB Network.
I'ma do what? That's on me. I be young boy, but I keep it OG. No, you can't shine if you stay low key. That's on me, on me, on me. I'ma do what? That's on me. I be young boy, but I keep it OG. No, you can't shine if you stay low key. That's on me, on me, on me. Didn't want that shit, but that's on me. Built the house, I got the keys. They say you can't shine if you stay low key. That's on me, on me.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Third, nice grabs by Hunter Renfroe and Mickey Moniak. First pitch swinging here in the 4th inning. Luis Rengifo flies out to Leody Taveras. Monkey around at the Big A this Friday. The Angels will take on the Rays at 6:30. The first 25,000 fans will receive a City Connect Rally Monkey courtesy of angels.ocnavigator.org. For more info, angels.com/promotions. The Tampa Bay Rays, the only team in the American League that the Angels have not played yet this year. They have 3 at home this month and 3 in St. Petersburg next month.
Their great young left-handed pitcher, Shane McClanahan, will not be available. He won't be back until probably 2025 after having Tommy John surgery.
Jeffrey Springs went down for the Rays earlier in this year. And Tyler Glasnow always seems like he's hurt, but he's actually healthy right now.
Looks like he's scheduled to pitch on Sunday. Went to Hart High School in Santa Clarita.
Rays have not listed a pitcher for Friday yet against Tyler Anderson. They'll have Zach Eflin, who's been maybe their ace, along with Glasnow, facing Silseth on Saturday, and then it's Glasnow and Sandoval Sunday. The Reds are in after that. The Angels right now penciling in Shohei to pitch on Wednesday afternoon against the Cincinnati Reds in the finale of that series.
Good reason to maybe take that afternoon off if you're working.
Yeah.
Bring some friends. Check out Shohei Ohtani on the bump. at the Big A.
That's a good idea. Not that many home games left in 2023. 22 or so. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Matt Theiss. Only about 6 weeks left in the regular season. Theiss trying to hold his swing, and he did. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Matt Theiss. Hunter Renfroe follows him
with his 3 career home runs against Gray. Love to see Theiss on base for him.
Renfroe had a base hit his first time. Theiss trying to work his way on. And there's ball 4, so a walk from John Gray. First walk issued by Gray tonight. Our Kia player profile. As we take a look at John Gray, drafted in 2013, where he ranks among 2013 draft picks. Chris Bryant behind Aaron Judge at the top of the list. Feels like Bryant did all that in his first 2 or 3 years in the big leagues.
He's been healthy for quite a while now.
Renfroe hits one toward left center field. It hangs up though as Jankowski makes the catch. And John Gray was the number 3 overall pick in 2013. And the Cubs felt like they lucked out when they drafted Bryant. He was 2nd overall. Mark Appel was the 1st pick that year out of Stanford.
I still remember the first few games for Bryant against the Angels in spring training, and he had some of the most unbelievable home runs I've ever seen. He made that big league club pretty quickly.
He was the rookie of the year in 2015, the MVP in 2016 when the Cubs won the World Series. He's not really been the same player over the last number of years now. You never know how the draft is going to shake out. Think about that draft. Aaron Judge was 32nd overall out of Fresno State. Hardly highly regarded at that point as Escobar flies out to Theiss. That's the top of the 4th.
Covering a full night of baseball is a team effort, and it all starts right here with Harold and Adnan on MLB Tonight's First Pitch.
Who's ready for baseball?
It's time for the first pitch.
We're about 25 minutes from game time. I'm so excited.
Our quick hitters right out of the gates. During the games, we take you to the games where you might see a lot.
Greg, we have a potential walk-off at Wrigley.
No way. What's going on?
Oh, they've got a runner at 3rd and Nico Horner's up.
Here's a pitch.
Base hit. Nico rocks it out. Cubs win.
Cubs win. And after the games, we're all about instant highlights and player reactions.
Nico, congratulations. Your first career walk-off hit. How did that one feel?
Man, it's as good as it gets. An amazing crowd here tonight. Wrigley Field is a very special place. We're feeling good right now, for sure.
And that's how this team covers every team. All in a night's work on MLB Tonight.
Innings, 40 pitches, 25 strikes, 0 swing and misses. So you can go back to his no-hitter last year against Tampa. Just 2 strikeouts in the game. So getting some soft contact, and then last inning, some baseballs were hit pretty well. The outfield made some outstanding plays for him behind him.
There's another softly hit ball by a Ranger. Garcia with a foul ball, though, that gets out of play. Only 2 Ranger balls have been put into play harder than 95 miles an hour exit velocity, which is then considered a hard hit ball. And one was Nathaniel Lowe when he grounded into a force out to end the first inning, and the other was the ground ball by Duran that was thrown poorly to first by Rengifo. It was a swing and a miss by Garcia on a high slider. So those are the only 2 balls that have been hit hard by the Rangers above 95 miles an hour. Even some of the balls that were hit on a line in the last inning were under 95 miles an hour. That's strike 3 call. There's the first strikeout for Reid Detmers tonight.
And another fastball thrown for Reid Detmers. And you know the Rangers are thinking secondary pitches instead. Fastball painted inside corner. Stayed on top, hit the baseball. It's like we showed that balance. Mentioned Wayne about that being taller over the pitching rubber. Solid there for Detmers.
One out here is Nathaniel Lowe. We'll see his brother Josh Lowe over the weekend. He's with the Tampa Bay Rays. Nathaniel Lowe, a 13th round pick, but his brother was a first rounder drafted by Tampa Bay. The bouncing ball softly hit to second base as Brandon Drury throws out Nathaniel Lowe.
Go back to that strikeout, the balance. You get a real good view here for Reid Detmers. The balance, staying tall, keeping that front shoulder, and then bam, fastball in at 94 inside corner. Hiding the baseball better balance, standing taller with the pitching rubber.
He's thrown about 50% fastballs here, and when the Angels beat the Rangers earlier this season here at Globe Life Field, it seemed like they were throwing a lot more fastballs and getting in those by Ranger hitters, because this is a Texas ball club that hits off-speed pitches and breaking balls really well. If you look at their numbers in terms of slugging percentage, batting average, the way that they hit off-speed and breaking pitches is absurd compared to what it is the rest of the league in doing that. They don't hit fastballs nearly as well.
So far, command, and that's another changeup thrown. Even though that's out of the strike zone, you're showing them a different look, a different break to a pitch thrown by Reid Detmers. Instead of that break a ball going in, whether it's a curveball, slider, the changeup going fading, going down, is out of the zone, but still a pretty good follow through on that one.
1 strike on Mitch Garver, who popped out his first time. Detmers being very efficient with his pitches. He threw 48 pitches in his last start over 2 1/3 innings. And this next pitch will be his 48th after 3 2/3 innings tonight. And he falls behind Garver, 3 balls and a strike. There's ball 4, so Garver's on. Second walk issued by Detmers.
Speaking of that changeup, even curveball, take a look at our play set presented by Frontier. Reid Detmers mentioned that curveball, can use that as an off-speed pitch and be able to get the hitters out in front. So that pitch is going the inner half to a right-handed batter, but then you follow it up. You turn that changeup over, and then it goes fading away. So you got that east to west on a pitch other than a fastball breaking, and the spin rate. Solid spin rate on his curveball. Same thing with changeup, but the completely different direction of those 2 pitches makes it very effective. So you get 2 basic off-speed pitches, one going one way, one going the other. Different spin in different direction. It's perfect for Reid Detmers.
Ball 1 strike on Ezekiel Duran. Duran reached on an error by Rengifo his first time.
It's not getting missed by a lot.
Fastball by Duran there. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ezekiel Duran, who is playing third base in the absence of Josh Young, who was Rookie of the Year candidate. Time called by Duran. Able to get a piece of that fastball as Detmers tries to work through the 4th inning.
He's been effective with his fastball in the lower part of the strike zone. Usually you think of Reid Detmers' 4-seam fastball. A lot has been elevated. He's been working down. That allows him to set up his secondary pitches that same plane to be able to either get soft contact or potentially a swing and miss with it.
And wouldn't chase that one, so it's 3-2. Runner on first, Garver. He'll get a head start. Angels scored in the first. It was a homer by Shohei that gave them the lead. Reid Detmers has kept the Rangers off the board since then. The Ranger has not even reached second base yet tonight. And now 3-2 to Duran. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That's all set up, Wayne, by his fastball down. He got to chase below the zone with his slider. So punch out fastball, punch out slider this inning.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy.
What?
And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too.
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
If we weren't proud of the craftsmanship and level of detail that go into every pair of Warby Parker glasses, well, we probably wouldn't show you how they're made. Including this part, which is our favorite. Wow. And this is also great. Each pair comes standard with lenses that are scratch-resistant, anti-reflective, and UV protective. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
So a few months ago, I realized I couldn't deny it anymore. I was losing my hair. And then I found Hims.
I went online, I answered a few questions, and a licensed healthcare provider prescribed me the spray.
It's the only spray of its kind, and it's made with 2 clinically proven ingredients.
The results have been amazing. This is a life changer.
I only wish I'd started sooner. I tell all my friends, you've got to start now.
Like if you could start yesterday, do that. Regrow your hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. Visit 4hims.com.
Friday, September 8th, the Angels take on the Guardians. The first 25,000 fans will receive a Mike Trout hockey jersey presented by Bally Sports West. More info, angels.com/promotions. Are you a Duck Dynasty now? What? You're a man of many talents, I'll say that. Randall Grichuk looks at a strike from John Gray. Two hopper to short, fielded by Corey Seager, and there's one out. That's why the entire press room yesterday serenaded you with happy birthday.
Oh, yeah.
We had the birthday cake on your actual birthday here in the booth Monday, but yesterday in the press dining room, another cake was presented to you, and the entire press corps sang happy birthday to you.
That was a good cake, too.
A lot of pink and purple frosting on it.
Perfect.
White cake. I like chocolate cake. The first cake was better.
Yes, that was really good. But James is not going to be real happy with you. He's telling you that. He worked hard on that cake.
Yes, he did.
Our cameraman, great one.
Thank you. Batting for the 3rd time tonight against John Gray. Pops this ball up to left center field. This will be easy for Theiss. 2 quick outs for Gray here in the 5th. Shohei's hair game is strong. So is his homer game. His 42nd of the year. let the locks out. Our T-Mobile coverage cam covering the lettuce. Yes, sir. Oh. That one sticking out.
That was so good. Somehow, some way, you're going to see that one with a helmet going off initially, and the hair is flowing, expanding as that helmet fell off his head on that home run swing.
Two balls and no strikes on Shohei. Gray gets that one in there for a strike. John Gray has been one of the more efficient pitchers in the American League this year, averaging 3.6 pitches per batter faced. Fourth best in the AL. Shohei with a fly ball, left field, hit pretty well again. Jankowski's back, this time has room and makes the catch. Shohei got that one off just near the end of the bat, just missed it. And ends a 1-2-3 inning.
With Home Chef, you're not just home cooking, you're home winning. Our fast and fresh meal kits are as fast to make as they are fresh to enjoy. When it comes to making dinner, fill in the blanks with Home Chef. Delicious, meat simple.
Get 18 free meals when you sign up at homechef.com.
With everything you have on your plate, earning your degree online seems impossible. But at Grand Canyon University, we specialize in helping you fit a master's degree in education into your busy day. Your graduation team, led by your own GCU counselor, provides you with the personal support you need to succeed. Achieve your goals with a plan and team behind you. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu.
What does the future of strength look like? It's a personal trainer that assesses your strength and adds weight as you progress. It's dynamic weight that adjusts for you in real time for a more efficient workout. Come on! And it's a roster of coaches that motivates you to get stronger, faster. The future is strength you can feel and results you can see. And you can only experience it on Tonal.
Like this on a breaking ball that's down, it's set up because you got that fastball going away, lower third of the strike zone. Same plane, and then you drop the slider and chase out of the strike zone. So the hitter, Durant's reading that lower part of the strike zone, both pitches, fouls off the fastball 94 down and away, and then that slider down and in, swings over top of it, all set up because he was working downstairs with his fastball today.
Robbie Grossman leading off here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Reid Detmers has worked through the first four. Just a couple of walks. One batter reached on an error. There's a pitch that just missed the top of the zone, I guess.
That first one might not have been a strike. The second one was, so even.
One ball, one strike on Grossman. Then Jankowski and Theiss, bottom part of the order against Detmers. He goes with the high fastball, gets another swing and miss. Detmers didn't have any of those in the first three innings. He's had a few here in the last couple.
Continues to throw the fastball. The command of his fastball.
Throw the fastball, throw it for strikes.
He's out. Pitch timer violation.
Look at that. Strike three.
Does that count as a swing and miss?
Robbie Grossman is out on a pitch. We have not seen that, I don't think, really all year, and now we've seen it twice in this series.
No. See, he's not in that position yet. It's 8 seconds before he's even looking up and making eye contact with Reid Detmers.
Ryan Blakeney all over it. Here's Jankowski, and there's a strike from Reid Detmers.
I'm giving him a swing and miss on that one.
All right. It's the third strikeout for Detmers. Now it's one ball, one strike on Jankowski.
A lot of speed at the plate here.
Jankowski grounded out to first his first time.
Tied him up with a fastball and had a little running action on him.
Detmers has been in control tonight. This is exactly what we talk about when we see these young Angels pitchers at peak performance. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jankowski. And Detmers only 24 years old. He just turned 24 a little more than a month ago. He has a no-hitter to his name already. Has an immaculate inning to his name.
And he
There's
paints
the
the
fastball. Jankowski goes down looking.
That was a perfect pitch.
4th strikeout for Detmers. He's fanned the last 3.
See that touching, just barely touching that lower part of the strike zone again. I love this fastball today. That's something he worked on. Staying on top, I mean staying a little bit longer over the pitching rubber, working downhill.
Swing and a miss by Leody Taveras. Remember, Detmers had that stretch earlier in the year, just before his 24th birthday, which he had 5 straight starts, striking out at least 8 hitters, a single season Angels record.
He dropped the changeup in there, or actually it was backdoor slider, but it looked like a changeup the way it broke.
We've seen a couple of changeups from Detmers tonight. He has thrown 66 pitches now. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Leody Taveras. The Angels have Jose Soriano up in the bullpen. So even though Detmers has mowed through the Rangers the first 2 times through the order, the Angels are already thinking about some backup, even though Detmers is at 67 pitches. He has not had many long outings lately. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He hasn't even pitched 5 full innings since July 22nd, but as far as pitch count goes, he's typically been around 90 to 100 outside of his last start when he threw only 48.
You're always going to be looking at that 3rd time through. It's been better when he gets to that point, but they're always thinking of that.
It's in there, strike 3 called. Reid Detmers strikes out the side. He has not allowed a hit through the first 5 innings tonight.
What makes baseball even better? Shohei, more action? How about more steals, Acuna? More hits? Nestor? Okay, Mookie, more hits? What if the games are just quicker?
Just a bit outside.
The game has changed, and fans are saying, oh, yeah.
This is Mookie Betts. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Mookie Betts plays hard, so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network.
Today, the ceremonial first pitch was thrown out by a man named Ricky Hill. See Benji Gill on the other end of that first pitch, as Ricky Hill is the subject of an upcoming baseball movie, The Hill, which is starring Dennis Quaid. Ricky was born here around the area in Fort Worth and had a spinal disorder when he was a kid that required him to have leg braces, kind of like Forrest Gump in that movie. Well, Ricky Hill busted out of the leg braces. He earned a major league tryout. He played professional baseball with the Montreal Expos. And the movie about his life is written by Angelo Pizzo, who wrote Hoosiers and Rudy. It's called The Hill, and it's coming out in the next couple of weeks.
I'm looking forward to seeing that one. I love those movies like that, inspirational like that.
Not sure exactly what Benji Gill's connection is there, but to ask Benji about it, he was the one who caught that ceremonial first pitch today. Brandon Drury strikes out to begin the top of the 6th inning. As Mike Moustakas will bat after we hear from Jack in the Box.
My classic sourdough Jack. It's named after your 2 favorite things, sourdough and me. Only at Jack.
1 out. Moustakas has a base hit. The Angels have put up 5 hits, although all of them in the first 3 innings. Mentioned that Jose Soriano was up in the Angels bullpen, but he has since sat down. As Detmers struck out 4 hitters in a row now, 5 on the night, all of them in the last 2 innings.
The last 3 all looking. 1 a pitch timer violation, the other 2 looking.
There's a backdoor slider from Gray that's in there for a strike. Third time through the order is coming up for Detmers with all these big hitters in the Rangers lineup. Opponents have hit .366 on Detmers the 3rd time through this year. So with this 1-run lead, Phil Nevin will keep a close eye on Detmers as he can get away quickly. The Angels have all of their A relievers set up again like they did Sunday in Houston. We've not seen those guys since then, with the last 2 games being somewhat lopsided, especially Mondays. We have not seen Ronaldo Lopez or Soriano or Matt Moore or Estevez since Sunday, so they're all rested and ready to go for tonight.
Fastball count.
Moustakas got a slider and fouled it off.
That was a nice flat slider to hit. He's just out in front just enough.
Line toward the left side, and a base hit. That open hole on the left side with Duran pulled way off of third, and Moustakas exposes it with his 2nd hit tonight.
And that fastball was up and away, and he stayed on that pitch. A couple hits in the game for Moustakas. That's just a good piece of hitting right there. You just stay back on a fastball elevated away. You can't do a whole lot of that as far as trying to pull that baseball. Went the other way and hit it hard for a single.
And the Angels have a man on. Here's Rengifo. 6 hits now against John Gray. That's lined toward left, but right to Jankowski, who makes the catch for the 2nd out. The only run of this game coming on Shohei's 1st inning homer.
Well, Luis Rengifo puts that first pitch in play so often. That one he hit well. One before, got underneath it, fly ball to center field, but he is ultra aggressive on the first pitch. Even more so it feels like than Seager is. We'll see him next half inning.
Well, 1 to Matt Theiss. Both starters have been pretty efficient tonight. There's Detmers staying loose before he goes back out for the 6th inning. Theiss with a fly ball, struck well left field. This is deep. Jankowski is back to the wall, makes the catch.
This is Chris Bryant. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Chris Bryant plays hard so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network. You want highlights? Quick Pitch has you covered. Packing all today's biggest plays into one lightning-fast hour.
What a play!
We live today, preview tomorrow on Quick Pitch. Late nights and early mornings, only on MLB Network. Wake up to baseball's biggest stories.
Robert Flores wearing tweed.
Wake up to big-name guests.
Very special guests hanging out on the crushed red velvet.
This show is tough to get ready for.
And wake up to a whole lot of fun.
Wearing a robe holding a wooden phone.
MLB Central.
It is absolutely hilarious.
The show baseball fans and baseball players wake up to.
The show's starting to pick up.
I love the energy. I love the unexpected performances.
Weekday mornings on MLB Network.
We'll have a little fun and we'll laugh.
Boy, Reid Detmers so far in this game has really commanded the strike zone and the edges with his fastball and is able to get swings and misses on those breaking balls, but it's all set up by his usage of his four-seam fastball, both up in the strike zone, but especially down in the zone.
First pitch swinging, Simeon with a bouncer. Escobar's got it, bounce throw, it is in time.
I'm going to say he did that on purpose. Little Davey Concepcion used that field turf to get it over there quickly. What Escobar, nice pick there by Moustakas at first base also. Quick out on a curveball.
One away here in the 6th inning. First time that Detmers has recorded an out in the 6th inning since July 15th.
That's his first one pitch out of the game.
And here's another as Seager, it's a bouncer down the first base line. Moustakas takes it to the bag. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
So what do you think? You think there's a chance at all? You see a swing at the first pitch?
Well, let's hope. Here's Adolis Garcia. Struck out looking his first time. And odds are he'll be taking a pitch here after Detmers records the first 2 outs of this inning on 2 pitches. He's thrown only 72 in 5 2/3 innings tonight. And there's a first pitch take and a strike to Garcia.
I like the fact he went with his fastball there on that one too. 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
One ball, 1 strike on Garcia. Again, the Angels get their bullpen up with 2 outs in the inning. In case things start to go south at any point, they've got to protect a short lead. It's only 1-0. Swing and a miss by Garcia on the slider. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's Ronaldo Lopez this time. The Angels A relievers are all rested and ready behind Detmers should he need them. Garcia with a fly ball to left.
He's out in front of that one.
Randall Grichuk is there, and Reid Detmers has carried a no-hitter through 6 innings in Arlington, Texas tonight.
Sunday on the next episode of MLB's Carded. Join Greg Amsinger for a look at all things cardboard, from vintage to modern. We've got it covered. MLB's Carded, Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
second, a ball that Ezekiel Duran hit pretty well. Renifo fielded in the hole. Made a low throw to first. Duran was called safe as Moustakas couldn't hold the throw. That was called an error. And we take you back to the third inning. Mickey Moniak, a sliding grab on a line drive off the bat of Corey Seager. As the Angels and Reid Detmers have kept the Rangers without a hit. Hunter Renfroe leads off in the seventh and immediately grounds out against John Gray. He was only allowed one hit himself since the third inning, and the only run of this game came in the first on a home run by Shohei.
It's already the fourth out for him, Gray, today on the first pitch. Boy, Marcus Semien was real close to that bag there on that ground ball up the middle.
One out. Here's Escobar. He had a base hit earlier. Angels wouldn't mind a little breathing room behind Detmers, who has thrown 6 no-hit innings. Detmers threw a no-hitter last year, just his 11th major league start against the Tampa Bay Rays. It was a game where the Angels blew out the Rays. Remember, Anthony Rendon hit that home run left-handed against Brett Phillips, of all people, late in that game, as Detmers no-hit Tampa Bay. He's got a no-no working through 6 innings tonight against this daunting lineup of the Texas Rangers.
And this feel and his command of his fastball has really been the difference maker tonight so far.
Detmers has walked a couple of hitters. He has struck out 5. He has been locked in tonight. One of the best he's looked since that stretch of starts that he had in June and early July, when he was racking up all those strikeouts, giving up very few runs during that span. And his last handful of starts, he's been knocked around. The last 2 especially. He's given up 7 runs in each of his last 2 starts. And we talk about the tantalizing talent of this Angels starting rotation. Aside from Shohei, with guys like Detmers, Sandoval, Canning, Chase Silseth, and having them go start for start with more consistency, well, this is another example of it on the positive side of how talented these guys can be.
And we've often said, Wayne, you remember we've talked even away from the ballpark how important it is to be able to use and command your fastball, and that's been the big thing you want to see more of from the pitchers.
Remember, too, the Angels were debating for a while if it was going to be Detmers tonight or Griffin Canning. Canning pitched in relief when Sandoval had that short start on Monday. So that rendered Canning unavailable tonight, and locked in Detmers for this start against the Rangers, trying to wash away the ugly one that he had in Houston, and he certainly has done that and then some tonight. Ball 4 to Eduardo Escobar. And the Angels have a base runner here in the 7th. Mike Maddox heads to the mound, and we'll get hydrated with BeWaterWise.com.
Visit BeWaterWise.com for water-saving tips and money-saving rebates.
Roldis Chapman is up in the Texas bullpen as Gray has now thrown 88 pitches tonight. He's thrown a good game himself. He shut out the Giants on just 2 hits last Friday in San Francisco, marking the return of Bruce Bochy with a 2-1 Rangers win at Oracle Park. Gray tonight on the short end of a 1-0 game.
Especially now with Escobar being held on at first base by Nathaniel Lowe, there's a lot of room. We saw that base hit go that way yesterday, or 2 days ago for Grichuk, going the other way. He's got some room there, still quick enough to turn on a fastball in the inner half, but that right side of the infield wide open for him again.
Top of the order coming up next with Moniak, a left-handed hitter, then Shohei. So Chapman seemingly ready in the Texas bullpens. Likely would be the last hitter for Gray. A lot of room on that right side of the infield. Escobar's running. Grichuk takes a strike throw to second, and it is in time. So Eduardo Escobar caught stealing. The guy who steals a lot of bases. It's not at this stage in his career. Escobar caught for the first time this year. He's only had 2 steals, though, all season.
Garver's only thrown out 13%. The way you look back, you almost thought maybe that was a hitting run put on, or a run and hit, either way.
Surprised it wasn't, as Grichuk waves at that, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's Detmers again, staying loose before the bottom of the 7th. Grichuk couldn't hold his swing, strike 3. So Greg gets bailed out of the inning with a caught stealing, then gets a strikeout. It's stretch time in Texas.
Covering a full night of baseball is a team effort, and it all starts right here with Harold and Adnan on MLB Tonight's First Pitch.
Who's ready for baseball?
It's time for the first pitch.
We're about 25 minutes from game time. I'm so excited.
Our quick hitters right out of the gate. During the games, we take you to the games where you might see a lot.
Greg, we have a potential walk-off at Wrigley.
No way. What's going on?
Oh, they've got a runner at third and Nico Horner's up.
Here's a pitch.
Base hit. Nico rocks it up. Cubs win.
Cubs win. And after the games, we're all about instant highlights and player reactions.
Nico, congratulations. Your first career walk-off hit. How did that one feel?
Oh, man, it's as good as it gets. An amazing crowd here tonight. Wrigley Field is a very special place. We're feeling good right now, for sure.
And that's how this team covers every team. All in a night's work on MLB Tonight.
A no-hitter through 6 innings tonight. We see the efficiency of Detmers, as he has thrown just 12.7 pitches per inning. He has struck out 5. He's walked a couple. He faces Nathaniel Lowe to lead off the bottom of the 7th, and there's strike 1 again from Detmers.
And another balanced delivery of a pitch by Reid Detmers there. A slider right on the outside corner at the knees.
He's been heavy with his fastball and slider usage tonight, and he gets Lowe way out in front of a curveball there to make it no balls, 2 strikes. Nathaniel Lowe is 0 for 2, grounded out softly to second his last time. We noticed early the soft contact that Detmers was getting. And then in the middle innings, he started to rack up the strikeouts at 4 in a row at one point. And that just missed the outside corner, a bit low, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on Nathaniel Lowe.
Yeah, it was a ball, but didn't miss by much, though. That's how impressive Reid Detmers has been so far.
Mitch Garver, then Duran, due up here in the bottom of the 7th. And Lowe pops it up. Mike Moustakas is there, and there's 1 away here in the 7th.
And another out on a curveball out in front, soft contact. And now he's gotten those outs by pitch type. 9 versus his 4-seamer, 4 versus curveball, and 4 versus his slider. And he's getting a lot of these outs. He's getting them off balance in the zone here. That's the key. The fastball's been on the edges, and the outs, the guy's off balance, swinging out in front because he's attacking the strike zone.
All the stuff we talk about in here all the time. Here's Garver. And we're seeing it in real life tonight with Reid Detmers. He has no-hit the Rangers through 6 1/3. He has had a no-hitter already in his young big league career. He's talented 24-year-old for the Angels. And he falls behind Mitch Garver, 2 balls, no strikes. Garver walked his last time, and he has crushed left-handed pitching this year. It's ball 3. Garver has hit .378 against left-handers this season. Phil Nevin really has to get on a seesaw here. If Garver reaches, which he does, there's ball 4, because that's the tying run now that goes on base. Detmers has walked Garver a couple of times, and now the batter will be Ezekiel Duran. And the Angels have to also be very concerned about locking down a win tonight. And here's Reynaldo Lopez up in the bullpen, ready to go as soon as Phil Nevin thinks it's time. Detmers has a no-hitter through 6 1/3, and he's only thrown 83 pitches. Duran has struck out and reached on an error. He grounds this one foul, and it's 0-1.
He has rolled into 6 double plays.
It was a legitimate error that Duran reached on back in the second. We remarked at the time, though, that it's so unusual to see those errors called this year. That one was rightly called against Luis Rengifo back in the second inning. It's been the only thing really close to a hit. Wave and a miss by Duran on the fastball. It's 0-2 with Robbie Grossman on deck.
Good life on his fastball, running away from him there off the outside corner at 94.
Duran struck out his last time. Detmers ahead of him here with Garver at first. And Duran with a good cut fouled off the fastball, but Detmers still ahead 0-2.
Even though he missed the spot there, Theiss wanted that above the strike zone. He still has the Rangers hitters thinking slider, curveball. His fastball's been really, really good.
Trying to go to the curve there, but it slipped away, and it's 1 ball 2 strikes on Ezekiel Duran. Reid Detmers has been here before, late in a game with a no-hitter. It took him 108 pitches last May to no-hit the Tampa Bay Rays at Angel Stadium. Here at Globe Life Field, he's through 6 1/3. He's got a 1-2 count on Ezekiel Duran. Duran stays alive. The more he fouls pitches off, the tougher it is to see Detmers finishing the job tonight. This will be the 90th pitch of the game for Detmers. He's ahead of Duran 1-2. Popped up, foul ground. Moustakas over near the Ranger dugout, makes the catch. 2 down.
Another out on a 4-seam fastball for Detmers.
Robbie Grossman is 0 for 2. Struck out on a pitch timer violation his last time. He's also flied out to left. Switch hitter. He bats right-handed against the lefty. Detmers works with Garver at first. And a grounder foul off into the Angels dugout.
He's been real good as far as using all his pitches in the first pitch. That slider, he's throwing his curveball, he's throwing his 4-seam fastball first pitch.
7 innings is the deepest he's gone into a game this year, and he's done it twice. Back-to-back starts against the Dodgers and the White Sox in June. Trying to get through 7 tonight. And one high and tight to Grossman. It's a ball and a strike.
Still life on that fastball. Up and in 0-1. Still think that's a more effective pitch up and in 0-1 than it is 0-2.
Counts 1-1 now. Grossman takes ball 2.
The one thing you always look for when you see a pitcher, all of a sudden a lot of pitches above the strike zone. The first one was by design. This one now, that's when you worry about little fatigue setting in. See how quickly he can make an adjustment here on this next pitch for Reid Detmers.
He's behind in the count here on Grossman. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. The curveball gets him back in the count to even it 2-2.
Backdoor curveball.
What a night for Reid Detmers from Nokomis, Illinois. Fastening their seatbelts in central Illinois right now. It's 2-2 on Robbie Grossman. That's just missed.
That's a strike. That's got to be called a strike.
Theiss popped out of his crouch. That would have gotten Detmers through the 7th. Now he's going to have to make one more pitch with a count 3-2. Home plate umpire Ryan Blakeney Mosley has done a good job tonight. That was one that was borderline that went against a pitcher who was thrown 6 2/3 no-hit innings. Now the runner will go on 3-2. And it's ball 4. So now a decision for Phil Nevin with Jankowski, a lefty, coming up.
And that pitch before is a strike.
.96 pitches. Problem now with 2 walks in the inning is that a base hit could tie the game. This is when the Angels need to win. They've had the lead since Shohei's homer in the first. Jankowski has bounced out and struck out. Garver at second base, a catcher. Doesn't have great speed, but there's 2 away. He can run on contact. Strike to Jankowski. Stopped by Theiss on a hard slider, and it's 1 ball 1 strike. With this longer inning here, thanks to a couple of walks, Detmers approaching 100 pitches. He's not gone past 100 pitches since June 26th. I figure fatigue is setting in here as the control starts to slip away a bit. Now 2 balls and a strike on Jankowski with Leody Taveras, a switch hitter, on deck.
It's a good time right now for Theiss, who's worked so well with Reid Detmers today, to have a quick conversation. Just say, hey, listen, your stuff is great. Let's go get him. That's all you got to say. Your stuff is great. Let's get him.
I can't imagine that if Jankowski reaches here, whether it's by a hit or otherwise a walk, that Detmers would face Taveras. I think then that they'd have to go to Ronaldo Lopez, as this is just a 1-0 game. What a performance this has been from Reid Detmers tonight. Trying to at least gut through the 7th. Ball 3.
You can see a little bit of he's aiming the baseball right now.
3-2 pitch, or rather the 2-2 pitch to Garver, that, or rather to Grossman, that looked like strike 3, prolonged the inning. Ended up walking Grossman. Now Jankowski with a bouncer foul makes it 3-2. So the runners will go again. And whatever Detmers has left, he's going to try to find it here on a 3-2 pitch to Travis Jankowski.
And it comes down to what pitch, if you're Reid Detmers, do you feel most comfortable getting this out with, or getting a swing with, and throwing it for a strike? For me, that probably means I think he's going to a slider.
On 3-2, the runners will go. Jankowski stays alive with a bouncer foul.
He went with his heater on that one. Still good life at 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
102 pitches for Detmers, a lot of them here in the 7th. The pitch count has risen more in this inning than in any of the others. There's been more traffic on the bases. The Rangers have not had a man in scoring position all night until now. Detmers trying to hold a 1-0 lead. On 3-2, Jankowski chops it foul again.
Another fastball, another 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
The pitches in this at bat, a lot of fastballs here as the at bat is prolonged. Almost certainly now there's no chance at the finish line for Detmers. He is trying to hold the lead. 1-0 with 2 on and 2 out, and a 3-2 pitch on the way. Swinging a grounder toward third. Here's Escobar, throw to first in time.
Yes.
Reid Detmers through 7 has kept the Rangers from getting a hit. He has kept them off the board, and he has been outstanding tonight in Arlington, Texas.
If you love baseball, you need to watch Baseball Show of Record, MLB Tonight.
We've got a bunch of games kicking off.
Who gets you ready to start the evening? these guys.
With Harold Reynolds, I'm Adnan Burke. Good to have you with us.
Join Harold and Adnan for a first look at the night's matchups.
Shohei Ohtani. We're going to talk about this guy forever.
First take from the players.
Oh, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
And the first of many breakdowns.
Let's put this in perspective.
Then, as your game night continues, stay tuned for the ultimate late-night baseball party. With live look-ins to the night's biggest moments.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
The best interviews.
I've never asked a player, do you need a blanket? It is kind of cold out there.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best former players fresh off the field.
Get your hands up.
There's nothing quite like MLB Tonight.
That is awesome.
This one takes the cake.
This is going to be a big deal tonight.
Exactly. You can't top that.
MLB Tonight. Every night on MLB Network.
Save on the action-packed Nissan lineup today at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. By Jack in the Box, the double bacon sourdough jack has slice after slice after slice of bacon. Try it. And by Spectrum One Internet Advanced Wi-Fi and Mobile for just $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com. The brilliance of Reid Detmers in 7 no-hit innings tonight against the Texas Rangers. That was an amazing performance against a great lineup.
Boy, this is outstanding. I love the fact that he used his fastball so well tonight to set up his slider and curveball, occasional changeup, but his fastball the story.
You assume at 104 pitches that Detmers is done for the night. Chapman just threw one to the backstop.
One thing you noticed that Phil Nevin didn't go over to him, though.
There is always that possibility. Detmers goes back out for the eighth.
Michael Lorenzen got that opportunity where he got up there in the 120-some pitch.
He threw 124 in his no-hitter. He was at 100 after 7 innings, Lorenzen, in that one. So Detmers a little bit past where Lorenzen was in his recent no-hitter for the Phillies. The Rangers will have Tavares, then Simeon and Seager due up in the bottom of the 8th inning. And again, it's a one-run game. Maybe if the Angels pad the lead a little bit, Phil Nevin might feel differently.
And remember also, he's pitching on which is normal 5-man rotation, but 4-day rest. Even though he didn't throw a lot of pitches that last time out there. This makes you believe, especially now you're seeing Matt Moore up there. He's probably coming in the game.
Ground ball from Moniak, handled by Simeon, and there's one out. Arco top-tier play, the only run in this game. Shohei losing his helmet and hitting one out.
And another home run in this ballpark the other way, 437.
Here is Shohei. That run still stands as the only run of this game, facing Chapman. And Shohei late on the fastball at 101 from Aroldis Chapman.
He's still able to warn everybody about that foul ball. He is the unicorn.
As an infield hit tonight, he's flied out to fairly deep left field as well. Just one off the major league lead in homers. He has to back away from that 101-mile-an-hour fastball from Aroldis Chapman, who, you know, if he's doing it by design, sometimes he's just wild, but he also doesn't mind pitching inside.
And he has that sinker, that two-seamer. Generally, he'll throw that a lot more when he gets the 2 strikes. But if Shohei, especially with this velocity that Chapman's throwing, all he does is get that barrel of the bat, it can go a long, long way.
Shohei has blasted a number of homers in this ballpark this year. Swings through that slider to make it 1 ball and 2 strikes.
How important that up and in fastball is, and that slider down and away.
Angels have led since Shohei's first inning homer off of John Gray. Gray, after 7 innings, comes out, allowing just a run on 6 hits. He did good, but Detmers has done great. And Shohei with a little squibber. Going to be a tough play for Seager. His throw not in time.
How about 2 infield hits for Shohei Ohtani and a home run? Speed and power. Seager did everything you could possibly do to get Shohei at first base. Threw that fastball in. That's that sinker he'll throw with 2 strikes. Shohei beats it out pretty easily on that one. It's amazing that he goes from a 4-seamer most times, but a 2-seamer, especially with 2 strikes for Chapman.
29.7 feet per second down the line, just about where he was earlier on his infield hit. Now 3 hits overall from Shohei tonight.
He's mad he got a hit. He threw it even harder over the first base.
Shohei can steal a base too. He is the Angels leader in that category, as he has swiped 17 bases this year. He's the only Angel with more than 5 besides Andrew Velasquez, who has 9. Brandon Drury at the plate with a count 1 ball, no strike. Shohei has a big lead. Chapman's pretty long to home plate,
yeah,
too.
I mean, he's allowed 15 stolen bases in 16 attempts this season. So 70 stolen bases overall. He's got 14 pickoffs career-wise, but 15 of 16. It's a high leg kick as he finally delivers the baseball, though it gets in on you and at home plate in a hurry, though.
It's a high leg kick, and it's a long stride, too.
I think against him, you just got to pick the right pitch, whether it could be a splitter or a slider if you're going to think about going. Especially got a lefty on deck, too, in Moustakas.
Drury strikes out on the fastball, 102 from Chapman. Now with 2 down, we'll hear from Land Rover. Moustakas swings and misses.
That's a 4-seam fastball. He goes exclusively with 2 strikes to his sinker. You got Drury to swing at. That's a 4-seam fastball to Moustakas. He's hit the ball hard twice today for 2 hits.
It's 2 for 3. That's this one off the glove of Chapman. Seager catches it on the redirect and throws out Moustakas. Keep an eye on Reid Detmers as he has carried 7 no-hit innings tonight. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Here comes Detmers.
What makes baseball even better? Shohei, more action? How about more steals, Acuna? More hits? Nestor? Okay, Mookie, more hits? What if the games are just quicker?
Just a bit outside.
The game has changed, and fans are saying, oh, yeah.
Covering a full night of baseball is a team effort, and it all starts right here with Harold and Adnan on MLB Tonight's First Pitch.
Who's ready for baseball?
It's time for the first pitch.
We're about 25 minutes from game time. I'm so excited.
Our quick hitters right out of the gate.
During the games, we take you to the games where you might see a lot.
Greg, we have a potential walk-off at Wrigley.
No way. What's going on?
Oh, they've got a runner at third and Nico Horner's up.
Here's a pitch.
Base hit. Nico rocks it up. Cubs win.
Cubs win.
And after the games, we're all about instant highlights and player reactions.
Nico, congratulations. Your first career walk-off hit. How did that one feel?
Oh, man, it's as good as it gets. An amazing crowd here tonight. Wrigley Field is a very special place. We're feeling good right now, for sure.
And that's how this team covers every team. All in a night's work on MLB Tonight.
24-year-old Reid Detmers from Nokomis, Illinois, threw a no-hitter on 108 pitches against the Tampa Bay Rays last year. We'll need a lot more than that to get to the finish line tonight. But he's back out for the 8th inning, and he delivers ball 1 to Theiss. He worked through some trouble thanks to a couple of walks in the 7th. I don't think he'll have that kind of leash here in the 8th inning. We'll see as Detmers continues. And Theiss, it's a ground ball to second. Brandon Drury has it. There's one away in the bottom of the 8th.
And another ground ball out tonight. Reid Detmers coming in the game at under 35% ground ball rates. He's got his fair share, just like that time he threw a no-hitter against Tampa, where he got a lot of ground ball outs.
He grew up in Central Illinois. His dad was a minor league pitcher, Chris Detmers, in the Cardinals system in the 90s. And Reid, a first-round pick in 2020. He's already had that one big moment last year in his 11th major league start against the Tampa Bay Rays. Against this great Ranger lineup, he's gone through 7 1/3. These guys are tough, and Marcus Semien has the first hit tonight for the Texas Rangers. It's cut off by Moniak. Semien tries for second, and he's in there with a double. And that'll be it for Reid Detmers.
That was not exactly hit hard. It is placed perfectly. And his speed. Semien.
Just dumped that ball into left center field. Detmers was electric. He's getting pats on the back from his teammates, and now he'll get a big one from his manager. Phil Nevin loves his players, and he has to love the performance from Reid Detmers, who walks off the mound after 7 1/3 brilliant innings tonight.
Wake up to baseball's biggest stories.
Robert Flores wearing tweed.
Wake up to big name guests.
Very special guest hanging out on the crushed red velvet.
This show is tough to get ready for.
And wake up to a whole lot of fun.
Wearing a robe holding a wooden phone.
MLB Central.
It is absolutely hilarious.
The show baseball fans and baseball players wake up to.
The show's starting to pick up.
I love the energy. I love the unexpected performances.
Weekday mornings on MLB Network.
We'll have a little fun and we'll laugh.
Hey kids, join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you. Play ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game on MLB Network.
Sports brought to you by Pacifico. Rich golden lager brewed for those who follow their own path. Pacifico, live life anchors up. By Metro Water District. For water-saving tips and rebates, visit bewaterwise.com. And by Pitching Decisions, presented by Sage, official finance software partner of Major League Baseball. Just a beautiful outing from Reid Detmers, our Toyota player of the game tonight.
Oh, you talk about outstanding, getting high fives in that dugout. What a performance. Reid Detmers today. Incredible.
10.30 ERA in his previous 6 starts. And he comes here to Arlington tonight, takes a no-hitter into the 8th inning against the best hitting team in the American League. You have to love this game. It will never cease to amaze you. Reid Detmers was amazing tonight as Ronaldo Lopez enters to replace Detmers. The Angels have walked Corey Seager intentionally. So now the tying and go-ahead runs are on base. And Lopez, a hard thrower, faces Adolis Garcia. There's a strike with a big fastball from Ronaldo Lopez.
Yeah, he can touch 100, 101 miles an hour This fastball, that one is at 97.
Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. It wasn't until Detmers got to the lineup for a fourth time through that he gave up a hit. As Marcus Semien with a double on a ball that was hit 87 miles an hour was just dumped into the right spot in left center. Lopez still ahead of Garcia, 0-2.
So overall outstanding all the way around for Detmers. His balance was great. His fastball was excellent. Slider very good. Curveball.
Swing and a miss. Garcia blown away with the fastball from Lopez.
That one at 99 mile an hour fastball. Just rides that in, ties him up.
Garcia, one of 3 Rangers that has struck out over 100 times. Another is Nathaniel Lowe, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Swing and a miss on the high fastball.
I thought Theiss was almost trying to call timeout there.
Pitch clock was running down on Lopez.
I'll tell you what, it is so difficult when you're in there, especially the performance like this for Reid Detmers in that dugout. Your heart is racing.
Well, the Angels trying to hold the lead for him. Detmers has only had 2 winning decisions this year. There's a strike on the inside corner. Detmers beat the Diamondbacks on July 2nd. He beat the Cubs June 8th. Those are his only personal wins this year. He certainly deserves one tonight. Lopez struck out Garcia. He's ahead of Lowe, 0-2. Lowe wouldn't chase that one as far high up as it went. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ronaldo Lopez trying to maintain the lead. Reid Detmers looks on after a brilliant performance tonight in which he carried a no-hitter into the 8th inning. Time is called, I believe, by Theiss. Lowe had already called a timeout in this at bat.
I guess that means it was getting closer to the pitch timer.
Lopez will go back, trying to get Nathaniel Lowe out in this tight spot. Tying and go-ahead runs on in the 8th inning. And Lowe had a pitch to handle there. A slider right in the center of the plate.
Yeah, he tried a little bit of an off-speed pitch there, even though there was a separation, but he got more of the plate than he probably wanted to.
Assuming we'd see Estevez in the 9th. Ronaldo Lopez trying to keep the Angels in front into the 9th inning. On 1-2, Lowe. Check swing, no swing. Ball 2.
Pretty close. It looked like he held up. And again, another slider.
To figure the fastball's coming back. Lopez threw mostly fastballs to the first 2 hitters. Now a couple of sliders makes it 2-2. The fastball is fouled away. Lowe is geared up for that one at 100 from Ronaldo Lopez. Mitch Garver has done well against Lopez in the past. He's on deck. He's 5 for 8 against him lifetime. You get 5 hits and 8 at bats against this guy. That's what I'd like to know.
Same division back in the day, maybe with Minnesota.
2-2. Low with a fly ball to left, hanging up for Grichuk, over toward the line near the sidewall. Grichuk makes the catch.
What a play, what a performance by Lopez. Pick it up. Reid Detmers, dominant performance today. Love that. High five.
Sure, you'll teach her how to drive a car. Then use Greenlight to power her independence with crash detection with 911 dispatch, family location sharing, and emergency SOS alerts. Invest in your best investment with Greenlight.
After your 9 to 5, your 5 to 9 should be easy. As easy as Home Chef's fast and fresh meals. Relax during the home stretch with a meal filled with fresh, pre-portioned ingredients while your microwave or oven does all the work, so you can clean your plate and skip the cleanup after. Get dinner done quicker with Home Chef's fast and fresh meals, so you can spend your 5 to 9 however you want to. Delicious meets simple. Get 18 free meals at homechef.com.
Welcome to the Aura Sleep Lab. You need a bit more deep sleep. Getting enough high-quality sleep increases immunity. Why? Because sleep helps fend off sickness. A good night's sleep boosts your number of infection-fighting antibodies and cells. And with your Aura Ring, you can learn how to sleep deep and keep your immunity up. It's like having a sleep lab on your finger. Go to sleepwithauraring.com.
Angels Live postgame presented by OC Navigator coming up. Certainly worth sticking around for with Shohei Ohtani blasting a home run. His hair bouncing around the bases with him. And then Reid Detmers masterful tonight. Took a no-hitter into the 8th inning. A marvelous job by Detmers. The Angels have the lead, but it's just 1-0 here in the top of the 9th. Still that one run from Shohei holding up. Angels would like more against Josh Sborz here in the top of the 9th.
Another first pitch swing there for Reid. That's 3 at-bats in a row.
Lined out to left his last time. He flied out to center in the 4th inning. The Angels swing at the first pitch more than just about any other team in the major leagues. There has to be some fine line there between maintaining being aggressive and also being selective. There's a ground ball to Nathaniel Lowe. And there's one away here in the top of the 9th inning. Join your Angels this Saturday, August 19th against the Tampa Bay Rays, and stay to enjoy a post-game Saturday night fireworks show driven by your helpful SoCal Honda dealers. Visit angels.com/promotions for more details. The last time the Angels scored more than 3 runs in a game was the last time they were home last Wednesday. They put up 4 against the San Francisco Giants. There's Estevez getting ready for the bottom of the 9th as Theiss tries to bunt and misses. Angels scored 7 last Tuesday against the Giants. The runs have been hard to come by here in Texas. They have not scored more than 3 in any of the games. And one win on this road trip, they won 2-1. And tonight they've been ahead 1-0 the whole game. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, the Rangers will have Garver, Duran, and Grossman due up against Estevez. At the Texas bench, they do have Jonah Heim available, along with J.P. Martinez as a left-handed option. We'll see what Bruce Bochy thinks about for the bottom of the 9th inning and the mid to late part of their lineup due up. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Theiss.
Still going back to that performance by Reid Detmers after, going on 4-day rest. And after that really tough outing, and it's been a tough outing a number of times for Reid Detmers, go out there, that work he had in between starts with Matt Weiss is getting and going back to the basics, staying tall on the pitching rubber, staying balanced. Takes a no-hitter into the 8th inning. 7 1/3 hitless innings for Reid Detmers tonight before giving up that flare double by Marcus Semien.
There's a long fly ball from Matt Theiss. It's deep. Taveras is back. That's going to go. Home run. Matt Theiss gives the Angels some insurance. A home run to make it 2-0.
His battery made tonight, helping him out with that swing. Theiss is oh so nice on that swing. 2 solo shots by the Halos tonight. Ball's covered. Theiss.
That is the breathing room the Angels needed. At least get one more. A little bouncer that Spores reaches out for. Might have been a tough play had he not done that. And Renfroe's retired.
Boy, he stayed balanced, and this is with 2 strikes on him too. He stayed on that right down the heart of the plate. We talk about keeping that head down on the baseball, that front shoulder and hips locked in perfectly. It's a long, long way out to right center. It was great seeing Chad Wallach follow him all the way down there, be able to make sure he saluted the bullpen down there.
You got to do that. There's a liner toward the left field line. That is a foul ball.
Those two have been working together and having a good time and just figuring out this, catching all these games this season. Moustakas is approving that swing. There's Chad Wallach again, still smiling with him.
Paul hit well to the right, but foul by Escobar. Escobar has singled and walked tonight. He strikes out here to end the top of the ninth. The Angels add a run. Theiss rips a homer. And the Angels carry a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the ninth. Some insurance for Carlos Estevez, who will come on for the save.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
So a few months ago, I realized I couldn't deny it anymore. I was losing my hair. And then I found Hims.
I went online, I answered a few questions, and a licensed healthcare provider prescribed me the spray.
It's the only spray of its kind, and it's made with 2 clinically proven ingredients.
The results have been amazing. This is a life changer.
I only wish I'd started sooner. I tell all my friends, you've got to start now.
Like if you could start yesterday, do that. Regrow your hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. Visit 4hims.com.
If we weren't proud of the craftsmanship and level of detail that go into every pair of Warby Parker glasses, well, we probably wouldn't show you how they're made, including this part, which is our favorite. Wow. And this is also great. Each pair comes standard with lenses that are scratch resistant, anti-reflective, and UV protective. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
It's all coming back to me, putting all those phases together in this game. This outstanding starting pitching by Reid, Detmers, some solid defense behind him, including a couple really good plays out in the outfield by Moniak and Hunter Renfroe, and some timely swings. Shohei at Theiss. 2 solo shots, and now it's up to Carlos Estevez to close it out. It's all coming back to me now, Wayne.
Yeah. Carlos Estevez has had to come back to him after his last couple of save opportunities have been nailed down. He had that one on Sunday in Houston. Estevez suffered his first 2 blown saves of the year back-to-back. He has since corrected things and has been able to lock down the last 2. He'll try to nail this one down tonight, especially before it gets to the big boys again in the Ranger lineup. And now it's the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up. With Mitch Garver leading off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And it's Duran, then it's Grossman. Quite a job by Ronaldo Lopez to get the last 2 outs in the 8th inning, entering in a tight spot.
He had some great stuff working again. He's been impressive.
And all the trade acquisitions the Angels made Ronaldo Lopez and Mike Moustakas have stood out as the two guys that have been the biggest contributors since coming over. Lopez has been outstanding. Here's Estevez struggling with the strike zone. 3 balls, no strikes on Garver, who was walked twice tonight. One thing that got Detmers' pitch count up in his no-hit bid was that he walked a couple of batters in the 7th inning and 4 overall. Here's a strike to Garver to make it 3-1.
Yeah, you got to attack the strike zone. He can't hurt you here. I mean, he might be able to square up a baseball, but it doesn't matter. You have to get that lead batter right here and challenge and make him swing the bat.
He swings it and he lines it past Renifo into left center field. The Rangers, who did not get their first hit until the 8th inning, have their second hit here to start the 9th. Garver will come off for a pinch runner. It's Josh Smith. That means we'll almost certainly see Jonah Heim as a pinch hitter here. Right now, Ezekiel Duran due up, and it looks like J.P. Martinez, who's only been in the big leagues for about a week, is being called off the bench here to bat for Ezekiel Duran. Here's ball 1 to Martinez, who has a lot of speed. Estevez fell behind Garver and gave up a hit. The Angels will have a quick meeting on the mound here as Theiss goes out. So does Escobar, to try to get Estevez straightened out. Angels trying to salvage one here in Texas the same way they did in Houston in the last game of that series. Before returning home, the Angels will have the Rays and the Reds waiting for them at Angel Stadium in the next 2 series. Schedule gets a little softer after that Tampa Bay series. There's a swing and a miss by Martinez. The Angels have been in this stretch where they've played a lot of playoff contending teams. I'll continue with Tampa Bay. The Reds are a contending team, although kind of dawdling around themselves in the National League wild card and Central Division races. Martinez jammed as he pops it up. Escobar with a look, but no play.
It's 98-97. Since that quick conversation, Theiss out the mound with Carlos Estevez.
Looks like Jonah Heim is in the on-deck circle. He would bat for Robbie Grossman. Two on Martinez. He's impressed Bruce Bochy in his first week in the big leagues. 7 hits in his first 18 at bats. A lot of speed, a good outfielder. He's gotten some opportunities of late. He lines this ball to center, and that's a base hit. So Estevez gets into some murky water here. Back-to-back singles. Remember earlier the Angels had Matt Moore up in the bullpen briefly. They haven't used him.
He stayed down, and he was able to stay down on that fastball. 97.
As Matt Wise goes to the mound. The batter due up here is Heim.
You know, when you think about it, that was a 97-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner at the knees. He hadn't really thrown one of those. It was mainly fastballs upstairs.
There is Matt Moore. In case Estevez needs a bailout, Phil Nevin can't really afford to wait around for any sort of implosion here. If he feels like Estevez can't get the job done, he's going to have to go to Moore.
You got to keep an eye on both these runners. Both have exceptional speed.
That's true. Smith very fast at second. Same for Martinez at first. Now Heim bats for Robbie Grossman here in the bottom of the 9th. Heim has power, although he just recently came off the IL. He's hit 14 homers this year, and he's driven in 70. Takes ball one from Carlos Estevez. Heim has hit into 8 double plays this year. Estevez could use a ground ball at somebody. Swing and a miss, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Heim.
It's not as comfortable looking when he doesn't make that contact with the baseball. You saw that last night, but still he's up there taking that healthy hack.
And a base hit yesterday. He has been able to make some contact, and he's a good hitter. Fouls this one off, and Estevez in front of him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jankowski is on deck. You would imagine at this point the Rangers will use who they have in the lineup. The only man available on the bench at this point is Austin Hedges, and he's not much of an offensive option. So whatever the Rangers have due up is what they'll use.
The delay there. Tumpane had to go down all the way down the line on that pop-up.
Lost a ball boy, I guess. John Tumpane, third base umpire, made his way over toward the left field corner to retrieve that ball. Estevez back to work. He's ahead of Heim. And another foul. Heim has worked hard to be an offensive performer from both sides of the plate. He was formerly pretty dominant from the right side, but not the left. He's evened it out. Now he's only batting left-handed for the time being as he recovers from that injury that he had. Estevez doesn't seem to have the feel for the slider. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, throwing like 13 straight fastballs before that slider. He did a nice job of varying his look back as Smith was trying to time him at second.
Another speedster on deck, Jankowski, but it's Heim at the plate. And he fouls off another. That's 15 pitches now thrown by Estevez here in the bottom of the 9th. Make that 16.
So on those 2 sliders so far, and both have been out of the strike zone.
Matt Moore should be just about ready. This is the 3rd batter for Estevez, so Phil Nevin can go to Moore at any time if he feels like he needs to. It's 3-2, and that time might be sooner than later if Estevez loses Heim. He was ahead of him. Now it's a full count. And 3-2 to Jonah Heim. It's ripped to right. It's foul.
Wow. That was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball too, but it was middle. You got to attack the strike zone. He stayed on that one really well. Unfortunately enough for the Angels, just hooked foul.
Runners got great jumps. Martinez was already around second before he realized that was a foul ball. Tying runs are on base. Back-to-back singles started the inning. Now Estevez in a battle with Jonah Heim, pinch hitting for Grossman. Another 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Love that, came right back. That time a little bit more elevated at 98. Driving towards the plate, above the belt for a punch out.
One big out, a strikeout from Estevez. Now the batter due up is Jankowski. Following him is the switch hitting Theiss. Then to the top of the order it goes.
This is all about a conversation about the base runners here too.
And you got a speed component at the plate as well.
And the one thing it's especially with another left-handed batter, you have a clear path to throw to third base if they do decide to go. That place is thrown out 19% of base stealers.
Josh Smith is the runner at second base. He's only had 1 steal this year, but he can really run. Martinez has not stolen a base yet in the big leagues. You can't let those numbers fool you here because both of these guys have great speed. So does the man at the plate. Jankowski's 0 for 3 tonight. He takes ball 1. Theiss, number 9 batter next, then Semien. The Angels would love to have this game over before Semien gets near home plate. Led all night since Shohei's homer in the first. Matt Theiss hit one in the 9th inning. There's a strike to Jankowski. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
That was borderline there too. He has faced 4 batters so far. He had not thrown a first pitch strike yet.
Reid Detmers carried a no-hitter into the 8th inning tonight. He's in line for the win. Jankowski with a fly ball, right center field. This is deep. Renfroe is at the wall. He's got it.
And neither one of the runners can tag up. They're thinking they're going to be able to advance and run around the bases on that one. What a play by Renfroe. They were both caught thinking it was going to be an extra base hit. He squared that one up. Not a lot of power in that big part of the yard. Renfroe able to run that one down. Woo.
That looked serious off the bat. 2 outs.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I pitched to the right part of the ballpark.
Here's Theiss. 0-1. Jankowski only has had 1 homer all year. Put a charge into that. Only had 10 home runs in the big leagues. Gave the Angels quite a scare. Now Theiss with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Leody Theiss. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
That was 99.
Marcus Semien on deck. The Angels would prefer to see him at Angel Stadium in September. Theiss a better hitter from the left side than the right. Estevez ahead of him. It's 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Yes. Say goodnight to the Rangers. The Angels hold off Texas. It's a 2-0 final at Globe Life Field. Carlos Estevez rebounds in the bottom of the 9th and holds it down for the spectacular Reid Detmers this evening.
Wow, what an incredible job by Reid Detmers to start with the power. Matt Theiss behind the plate, by the way, outstanding with the glove and then swinging the bat with that high fastball. Carlos Estevez. I'll tell you what, the one thing about Carlos in this role, I mean, he just doesn't get flustered at all. And Shohei Ohtani, nor does that hair of Shohei Ohtani ever get flustered.
No, looks wonderful.
What a win.
And the Angels
2-0 victory in this ballpark against this lineup.
Reid Detmers certainly sparked the ball club from a pitching standpoint. Carried a no-hitter into the 8th inning tonight.
Wow, he had it all working. I loved his fastball, his command of his fastball. Slider, solid curveball, especially that backdoor curveball. Talked about that. The knee when we did the opening, and that backdoor curveball was very, very effective. The only hit he gave up, a little flare, double in the left center field, and I think Phil Nevin gave him every opportunity. That was well deserved there by Reid Detmers, picking up the W today. By the way, Ronaldo Lopez just brings it out there too, and then Carlos Estevez closes it out. 2-0 victory. Home runs though, solo shots the key.
Shohei Ohtani and Matt Theiss with those home runs. The Angels win 2-0 tonight here in Texas. Matt Theiss caught a brilliant outing from Reid Detmers and hit a homer. He's standing by with Carlin Bay.
He sure did. Thanks, Wayne. Hey, being able to catch Reid Detmers as he was flirting with almost his 2nd no-hitter of his career. What worked so well between you guys as you were able to work that one out, and he went 7 1/3 innings pitched?
He just had everything going today. He was landing everything in the strike zone, and he had a lot of confidence out there. you know, it's tough to bounce back after a start like he had last start. But I mean, it just shows the maturity that he has to bounce back like he just did. It's way above his age.
Well, you guys did all that work with only really one run in the lead there, and for you to come out, hit a home run after Reid had gone and taken a seat, was that kind of a, hey man, good job to secure that, get that insurance run?
Yeah, sure. You know, it was just nice to get an extra run for Esty there. You know, he's been nails all year, and just to give him a little extra cushion right there.
All right, and then you guys are heading home on a great note here, being able to close off on a win after a tough trip in Texas. What can this do for the club as you guys return to the Big A?
Yeah, it could really boost morale. I mean, you know, we're going to go in there, we're going to be excited, and, you know, we're off tomorrow, but Friday's a new day, and we're going to try to keep it rolling every day.
All right, go celebrate and enjoy this win.
All right, thank you.
Wayne, back upstairs.
An enjoyable ball game here tonight in Arlington, Texas. The Angels take care of the Texas Rangers in Randall Grichuk's home state, a 2-0 win. Reid Detmers carried a no-hitter into the 8th inning. Shohei hit a home run. So did Matt Theiss, and the Angels did enough to hold off the Rangers tonight and score a 2-0 win to wrap up this road trip. The Angels head back home. They'll play the Rays on Friday. For Mark Ubaza and Carlin Bathe, our entire crew, I'm Wayne Randazzo. We say good night from Texas as the Angels win the last one against the Rangers. 2-0. Angels Live postgame is next.